There's my audio. So there we go. Welcome to VOLO and Butthead's Tech-A-Palooza. I'm your guy, Mr. CD Enforcer, a.k.a. Poppy Carl the Bad Boy. And I'm coming in here a little late. I always start playing some videos and things just to get things started. And then we'll play those for about an hour. Then me and VOLO will come in and talk to you guys a bit later. Let's go with the black text for this one. Ooh, black text. Ooh. We'll go with we'll stick with minimal since this is a technology show. And let's get some stuff going here. Space sounds, audio going for a second. And let's get some video going here. VOLO's playlist here. I think last time we stopped somewhere. Let's see. It shows me the end. So we did about an hour or so last time. So there's 15. So that's about an hour. I'll start right here at this builders one, I guess. I don't know how much more. No, we got a lot of video left. Let me No, I'm gonna play the shorter ones this time. I'm gonna play the shorter ones for our intro. And we're gonna play this for about an hour and get into talking at about 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for watching. Our Tech Lord of the Week is Dr. Charles Richard Drew. So we will be talking about him a little later. He's a doctor, did a lot of stuff with blood plasma. I did a book report on when I was a kid. So we'll talk about that and check him out too. But for right now, let's get into these videos from VOLO and Butthead's Tech-A-Palooza. And yeah, we'll get it on down. Just fixing stuff here. Get this overlay thing down and make VOLO's video big. And play this bad boy.
Mr. C told me, you have to make videos in order to explain, what you're trying to convey with your memes and ideologies when it comes to religion, politics, and science. And it's supposed to be a country of the free where we have free speech and we're able to say what we need to say and what to say. And, from there, build upon what, made this country as great as it is. So, and what made hip hop what it is. This is hip hop appreciation month. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be celebrating the culture created by the children of the 60 Civil Rights Movement. So we're supposed to talk about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Kwame Ture and what they brought to the table and how they, helped us to build this great culture that's worldwide. It's made billions of dollars around the whole world. People still using it to sell their art, to explain their science, to be rigorous with their sportsmanship. For example, Public Enemy came out back in the 80s. Politically, they've been, Chuck D has been on the Democratic side, and we still respect and love Chuck D to death. I do. Their second album was Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. And on their album, he had a song called She Watched Channel Zero, which he talked about at that time women would watch a lot of soap operas and in the soap operas, so there was The Restless and, General Hospital. And I would watch a show or two with them, And those shows really, show how much of the personality that women would take on the characters that was on those shows. Has no psychological understanding or aspect of it, and the same with philosophical and sociological. You can measure all of that, So, but my last video, I start talking about the three fates of classical. great fates of classical mythology. And I wanted to apply that to religion, science, and politics. With politics, I shared a couple memes. We have a senator in Rhode Island named Tierra. She's a leftist. She says she's queer. And for votes, she's actually twerking for votes. Now, I don't know how she expects for twerking for votes. That's just how weird that is. That's weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Now, on the same note, of Democrats, we have Charles Booker down in Kentucky. All right, he's running, but he's not a leftist. He's a progressive. So he's down with the leftists, but you know what I mean. Instead, he's not. They on the same team, so it's the same number line. You know what I mean? But he's leaning more towards conservative kind of, family, father, wife, and children kind of ideology. Leftists like Tierra Mack is on some, the LGBTQ, right? So Charles Booker is trying to show that he's also down with Black Lives Matter, but in his video, he's making fun of conservatism by putting a noose around his own neck. To say that's what they want to do. If he was to become a Republican, they would hang him. I guess is the ideology that he's trying to convey. But it's like, you put a noose around your own neck, like Juicy Smollett, who's down leftist ideology. So that's why it's like it seems like it's a gender war going on with the Democratic Party with black people. A lot of black men is going, not these hoes, or you know what I mean, or my wife comes first, not these gay dudes, you know what I'm saying, like, and they don't like that. So what they do is they do the sneak attack, and that's what's actually going on. But I'm just pointing out, this is Channel Zero. This is what they give. These are the options that the Democrats are giving you. They give either one, be completely out of control like Tierra Mack, or two, put a noose around your own neck like Charles Booker. Brothers are still going to vote for Charles Booker, and it's going to make it seem like it's patriarchal, because he's a Kappa. I was thinking about being I have no hating on the Kappas or the Qs or the Iotas or the Alphas. Not that type of dude that be, I see good things with male fraternities, but y'all understand male fraternities are treated like it's a patriarchal practice. Yes, that's what the war that is going on in the Democratic Party, and that's why it's like I really don't have any. It's wasting my time to deal with them. I can't deal with them anymore. And now I got a MAGA hat on. But I'm on a whole different dimension when it comes to politics, because I use science and religion to understand God's will, right? But I'll jump more into that later on. I already took too much of your time, but thank you for your time for listening, and stay tuned for more. God, one God, that is hip hop. See, I have to make videos. Everybody's doing this. Everybody's making videos. Everybody's tweeting. Everybody's sharing their knowledge, their wisdom, and their understanding. Sitting here watching Eddie Griffin of all people. It's funny. Classic. I just subscribed and followed his page. And this is, I'm trying to, keep it going and the flow going and see how this video turns out, because I'm just gonna keep nailing out these videos, and these are gonna be my little short ones. I'm gonna be 5 minutes on this one. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm calling these series the Neo VOLO show. TNVS.
the Daddy VOLO Chronicles. TDVC versus, because that's the real battles with yourself. I mean, to keep it 100, keep it 100. And just to piggyback off of what's going on with the other pages, I mean, with my other shows and my broadcasts, I've been talking about the fate of, the three fates of mythology. Just check the other videos. I just wanted to continue with the difference between religion, politics, and some religions. How we as hip hoppers see them as logically equivalents, and take it from there. Like it's just building upon. I've been talking about the grain and sisters. That's what I'm sitting here watching Eddie Griffin rap about, and I'm not really dealing too much into her personal life and what she's doing with her first wife, and who's the baby daddy of the first wife, and her white girlfriend, whether or not she wants to have kids, and how they handle it, and the father, how they handle it, and the aspect of it, because it is about the children when it comes to like you start reading the scriptures and seeing how important the scriptures say fatherhood is for the children, and you have the three greener, you have three people that listen, I'm just. But let's go back to just two, like just the single line. Like that's what I was talking about the last episode with the politics. I had the Tiara Mack and then Charles Booker, right? Showed y'all the number line and how they actually on the same number line and how they both Democrats, we were saying the same thing with the Republicans, right? We have Winsome Sears, right? She's the Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, right? You see videos with her with an AK, AR, assault rifle, you know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, you see black women and with women to leftism and the Democrats and the Democrat Joe Biden surrounding himself with is black women, and they got white husband, no matter, whatever. That's not my beef. It's not interracial. What I mean? My beef is that you put these women in these positions and they really don't want to be leaders. You know what I mean? When she wants to be a leader. She's a leader. She's the Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, right? So it's like, you talk to all these black Democrat women that's going to vote blue no matter who. And that's what they did for Joe Biden, right? So it's like they should support her, right? Because she's a black woman, but she's a Republican. She got that gun. I mean, she got that gun too. She ready for revolution. But in the hood who she's shooting at, right? These young rappers. You know what I mean? She ain't shooting. You know what I mean? She ain't protecting herself from daddy, zaddy, or whatever, so they start hating on, like, you can't tell them zaddy, you know what I mean? Whatever, This is the game we playing. It's a whack game, On the other aspect, you had the boy in Arizona, Jerome Davison. I think his name is Jerome Davison, for Congress, out in Arizona. His video was off the chain. He came out the door like, who's this on my backyard? You know what I'm saying? And then there's a bunch of KKKs with the KKK, with the Dems, with the Dems, and people start hating on that. And people start hating on that. Like, no. It's actually anti-white racist. Like, he about to put that in their butts, right? You know what I'm saying? But he's a Republican too. So now we're dealing with the same number line as Tiara and Charles, right? But now you got a black man shooting at KKKs, and it's like we don't know if it's anti-white racism, it's I see this other dude saying it's anti-black racism. He just used me, and it's like, dude, You know what I'm saying? They coming for him. What else is he supposed to do? But he's considered what? Jerome Davison is a black Republican. That's so, you know, that goes against everything in the beating of, you know, Democrats. That's, you know what I mean? But, you know, yeah, he got spanked. He got spanked in his primary, so we ain't got to hear from him no more. You know what I mean? They all showed how they really feel about that, seeing a black man, you know what I mean, armed to the T like he Malcolm X, coming out his crib like, nah, y'all ain't taking what I got, you know. See, it's the same number line, you know what I mean? But you see how we had the different aspects. See, we cool with Charles Booker because he put that noose around his own neck. Davidson, nah, we ain't down with that. We ain't down with no Malcolm X. No Black Panther, not no Black Panther. Why we saying what we saying with the Black Panther? That's why you seeing 3 women at the front. Like, you know what I mean? Nah, we gotta lay T'Challa to rest. But we as a nation, you know what I mean, you know, real brotherhood or whatever, we, you know, the ones taking the red pill, not that blue pill, we be like, nah, that's whack, y'all. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna, you know, end off, you know, Black Panthers supposed to get married, have children, you know what I mean? But y'all playing that same game again. And then when we point it out, it's like we hating instead of, you know, recognizing the truth. You know, yeah, I can rap for 10, 20 minutes about this. But I'm gonna get, you know what I mean? I just wanted to drop this real quick and you know, keep that morning. You know, I'll get back to elaborating on the 3 fates of classical anthology and how it works if, you know, you're dealing with 3 men, you know, Big Daddy Kane, Kim, and Karis One. You know, or if you're dealing with like 3 women, like, you know, whoever, like, you know, choose your 3, you know. And you'll see the direction, you know, if we look at the original BS, you know, Black Region Matter women or whatever, you'll see what direction they went in, what direction we're going. And that's why I'm not really feeling these leftists like that, because that's what they seem like they want to represent. 3 years like women, ready to burn down the black neighborhood. 3 black men trying to build up the black neighborhood, building businesses and stuff. But they don't want the patriarchal practices going on. All right, that's all I'm gonna sit right now. You know what I mean? I might be back tomorrow or the next day. But make sure y'all keep y'all heads up. You know what I mean? Look in the mirror. Right? Tell that image that, you know, that self-esteem makes them super superb and supreme. Before a microphone, still I feel real. One God, that is hip-hop. Everybody's doing this. Everybody's making videos. Everybody's tweeting. Everybody's sharing their knowledge. And I've been ending, should I say, every episode with one God. That's one God. With one God. And, you know, there's you know what I mean? Because I'm a believer. I believe in one God. Now, what does hip-hop have to do with that? You know, hip-hop, you're talking about 2 elements, 2 entities, two objects, 2 ideas, right? Like, I love all hip-hoppers. Like, you know what I mean? There's no hate between me and another hip-hopper. You know what I mean? You love that. You love the culture. I love the culture. Man, we'll be best of friends by the end of the conversation. You know what I mean? And I recognize the legends. You know what I mean? You know, we've been in the game since the 70s, the 60s, you know what I mean? Because we are the children of the 1960 Civil Rights Movement. And you put that work in and help to build this culture that we have, I definitely respect that. You know, respect that. Like Bones Malone is a legend in the game, you know, and the other day on Facebook, he posted, hip hop has changed our lives. Hip hop has changed our lives, but it won't save it. We must do that for ourselves. Bars, right? Bars. Like I can't even argue against that. Like that's there it is. You know, gotta put that work in. You know what I mean? But that's what kind of differs a hip hopper from a non-believer. Like that's like I'm not going to argue with that. I'm not going to debate against that. You know what I mean? Being a believer of hip hop, I know practicing hip hop is the act of hating myself. That's where I would try to add on. You know, like you add on. So that, like, so it you know, in the beginning, was it the hip or was it the hop in the very beginning? Was it the intelligence or was it the movement? I think intelligence. Then you know, in the intelligence is three-dimensional. That fourth dimension is time, but then that movement happens, and that's why we call it hip hop. In my eyes, like that's the faith, that's the belief, that's the understanding, right? As I grab three ideas and then start putting movement to it, give it a direction. That's real hip hop. You know, that like and it can save your life, especially if you practice it. If you practice, I was you know, like, you know, the Neo VOLO Chronicles, or should I say the Daddy VOLO Chronicles, is about me and my son and the stories that we're reading and how we using those stories to create new ideas and determine the difference between morality and immorality, or vice versa. So that's why I started there, and then the Neo VOLO show was the metaverse and trying to play around with the new technologies and share them with the world. And I'm gonna do the same with other devices. The more and more we grow, the more and more I keep doing these broadcasts, shows, entertainment, whatever you want to call them. I'm always on a serious note, but I like to be facetious. I like to help the children laugh. So I mean, and I've been touching on the politics tip because it's like we don't know politics like that. That's what I mean. Like we confuse hip hop with Democrat and Republican. Like none. No, that's not hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they the same bird. On the same bird. We hear people say that all the time. We hear people say that all the time. Middle trying to, add balance. But I'm, and then it is the truth, love, and courage. That's what we supposed to have spirituality. You know what I mean? So it's not that to see hate. It's not that to see hate. People that seek those things is actually the devils. They the wicked. They the wicked. I mean, we supposed to seek truth, love, and courage. It's funny. I'm trying to Danica Marie. Yeah, I follow her on Facebook. I mean, on YouTube. She's a YouTuber. She might be on Facebook. Facebook's been blocking me, and so this is kind of like the block out video. Like I can't post on Facebook like I want to because they restricted my account. Yeah, they actually do these things. Like I say it, and people are like, nah, they ain't really. They inform me that they blocking it. We putting you at the bottom of the feed. So if they doing it, that means YouTube's doing it. That means Twitter's doing it. That means they all Twitch and that's what we've been complaining about. And it's funny because the only party, the political party that's saying, yeah, we know that they're doing it, we want them to do it, is the Democrat. You know what I mean? Like they the ones that wanted to. We gotta block Trump or Trump's. We gotta block Trump or Trump's. We gotta block Trump. Like you know what I mean? Because it's too much power with his voice. He can cause devastation or whatever they trying to swing it however you want to swing it, because of white supremacy, and then it's like, well, what about black supremacy? And it's like, well, that's just as evil too. Like then that's when they telling themselves, right? No, Well, I'm sorry about Danica Marie said, and going back to me talking about the three fates of classic mythology. She said the sisterhood, like she made sister and hood hyphenated ha, right? So she said the sisterhood is teaching us to take stuck, stagnant, and stupid. She said the sisterhood is teaching us to be stuck, stagnant, and stupid. Now y'all remember I was like, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know what I mean? And how Snow White dropped the good, the bad, and the beautiful, right? Beautiful. And it's like, we got these hood Jones that's what they preaching their word. Like they not, they don't need a man or whatever. Or they want it. You know what I mean? And then when you see them ready to fight their sisters, it's like a real manhood. They seem like, she's scared. That's why she acts like that. That's real. But, to fall back on, just religion, politics, science is what I'm trying to do real quick 5-minute episodes. I'll talk more about Tyra Mack and Charles Booker and Winsome Ears and even Jerome Davison, who, he's no longer running, but, because he had that gun, that KKKs, you know what I'm saying? That don't sit well with them. So he had to go. He had to be the first to go, right? But we'll analyze that some. I might do another video later on today. But tonight I'll be on Twitch, because it's another Philly Thing show, and I'm awake, and so God's willing, I might be on there. I'm ending on that note. I took up more than enough of your time, and I appreciate you for listening to these words. And keep your head up. Keep seeking for that one God that is hip hop. And I've been ending, should I say. It is unity that doth enchant me. It is unity that doth enchant me. Unity, union, united, one. Giordano Bruno, an Italiano philosopher. You see, I take a sheet of paper and put a dot right in the middle. A dot. I take a compass, put one end on that dot, the other end with the ink pen or pencil. I make a circle of a radius from the center. Hence, I just created the Big Bang on a single sheet of white paper, on a single plane. And within this circle, there's an infinite number of little circles going around the same center. Some of the so-called circles could be waves, could be sine curves, or circular sine or circular cosine curves, like waves of energy within the circle that we created on this two-dimensional plane. And from there, where our minds can grow to understanding the universe in ways that no normal mortal can understand. That's how beginning began. Or should I say how it began? And it shows unity. It shows a universe within a circle on a two-dimensional plane. going with this? Going with this? Infinite ways, right? I can start the mathematics all over again with a single point and create a circle using a tool called a compass. And then theorize infinite universes in that little circle. That's real mathematics right there. Real mathematics right there. That's what I like to express as being the beginnings of hip hop. I'm trying to think where else I'm gonna go. You know what I mean that fast. Like I wanted to make these episodes, 5 minutes long. But right there, I mean, it's that there it is. That's the 5 minutes right there. Just keep hitting repeat and listen to this like 20 times, and you got what? You got an hour of information that you just study and write down and consume and try to understand what unity really means. Then we can go expand to the second point of the hop, the movement. Start with the intelligence. That's the hip. That's the center point. The hop is the movement from the center point to the outer rim, to the radius of that circle that you created on the 2-dimensional. Now imagine if we take it to 3 dimensions. Now you can find the direction, and whatever direction you pick, you're dealing with the fates of classical mythology. So we have to start all over again and then work our way back. Start all over, where we're trying to go with this. And notice the religion, the religions, the three, how the three can be used. All we got to do is choose one. So if I go back and I choose, say, the politics, right, for example. Which politician should we choose? Let's start with politician should we choose? The Lieutenant Governor of Virginia. She's a Republican and a leader. I like to say ladyship. But since she's Republican, the Democrats, we shouldn't support that, right? A leftist Democrat, then you shouldn't support that because she talking about guns. She talking about guns to protect her family. She talking about the information as far as you getting that code, that shot. We're not allowed to talk about that still, right? We're not allowed. You know what I mean? You are anti-vaccine. That's not what she's saying. She's saying the government shouldn't have the right to mandate not your flu symptoms are denied. That's what she's talking about, but y'all ain't trying to hear that, because that's what the Republicans are saying. They gotta be wrong, right? We Democrat, because we black. Or are we brown? We're not white, right? The African is not white. But we can explore these ideologies all day, and I'm just, just throwing some darts out there. I ain't want to go too deep in this episode. Did I or didn't I? I mean, I'm all about love and courage. That's the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that I'm seeking. That's the only way we can achieve freedom, justice, and equality in my eyes. From the unreal, lead me to the real. The darkness, lead me to the light. Lead me from the death, lead me to immortality. Once y'all see the beginning and the end, I'm still talking about one. God. That is hip hop. figured I'd just make a video, I guess. I don't know where to really go with this. It's just boring out here in this space. Everybody just repeating the same thing. It's like I want to, I want to repeat and elaborate on the topics and subject matters that I've been sharing with y'all, especially when it comes to the three fates of mythology and created, caused by me and my son watching Snow White, because just to reiterate real quick, Snow White consisted of three women: Snow White's mom, who isn't a part of the movie, and then the wicked witch or the wicked stepmother, and then Snow White. So you're dealing with the three fates of mythology when you're dealing with, protagonists, antagonists, and that third character, which we're going to work on when it comes to storytelling and things of that nature. But I'm trying to I'm trying to figure out which way to really attack this, and I was gonna, when I get back to the chronicles related to Brittany, that's Grider, that's in Russia jail, to cross-reference religion, politics, and science, cross-reference Brittany being a political figure, her, gender being the science, and religion and how that's involved. And how our current government is conflicting, convoluting the three by using casuistry and sophistry and all this other critical stuff to confuse the masses, and using buzzwords like critical race theory as it relates to anti-racism, just like they racism, fascism as it relates to anti-fascism, nonsense. That's why most of the stuff on that's all around me when it comes to the videos and stuff. It's like, okay, come on, y'all, let's start telling the truth. Let's start building. Let's get back to making creative stories. Let's stop lying about, just lying to be the most popular. But I guess, you got to do what you got to do, get that money. And that's what it's all about. It's about trying to get that money. And that's not what hip hop's about. Hip hop's an American culture. It's created by us, the children in the 1960 Civil Rights Movement. So whenever I talk about hip hop, I'm really, referencing Malcolm X and Malcolm King, Kwame Ture. Yeah, they like to throw in other names. I mean, they even throwing in Marlon Brando, like he's part of that movement. And it's like, here we go again. They go to critical race theory, or should I say, the white critical race theory? Depending on what side of the, white and black line that you're on. We trying to deal with three dimensions, should a triad to, once you get to that fourth, you're talking about that quad, you're talking about, time. And I say money is time, and people look at me like I'm evil. I'm just trying to explain equivalence, especially when it comes to socioeconomics, especially when it comes to man, woman, child, talking about a family. To build more families, especially in the black community. But they go to counter, they go to critical race theory, which is implying black supremacy is the evil that we look out for. And then there's the hypocrisy. That's why I'm kind of stuck on subjects right now, because we're still in the mode of who decides what we talk about when it comes to religion, politics, and science. Who decides? Who decides who the leader is? We talking about me and hip hop. I say who the leader? Big Daddy Kane, they go rock him, and we'll use Cool G Rap. That's 1, 2, 3 right there. 3 right. And then of course they're gonna say people want to ask about Chuck D, KRS-One, the real heads, even Ice-T. You know what I mean? Like they'll ask about the real heads, the old heads that helped board it. You know, they ain't gonna ask about Schoolie Dead. You know, shout out to Philly. But you know, I'm kind of going and further than what I really wanted to do with this rap with y'all. And, you know, I ain't really trying to throw it. I ain't really trying to crazy, well put together. Just wanted to say hello because a couple days since I did it. And I'm trying to explain why I'm kind of slow on really putting together something that's like, all right, there go the thought. All right, now let's take this to a whole nother level. I guess I'm looking for a response from y'all. I guess in the comments section, if it's something that y'all want me to rap or elaborate on, when going back over VOLO show and the Daddy VOLO Chronicles and what I'm trying to point out when it comes to the mathematics of life, especially when it comes to hip hop being an intelligent movement, and you know, just trying to let us sit that God gave and be humble and to the Most High. Not to no knucklehead. I ain't no. You don't want to do that. Be humble to no double. But that's what the doubles want. They doubles want us to be to them, or the anti-theist, should I say. It's not to be confused with the atheist. The atheist has an open mind and considering what does the empty set mean? What does the empty set really mean? Do we include the empty set within the set of life? And you have to. The anti-theist wants to destroy everything, like they don't care. But I guess that's all I really need to rap. I ain't want to get to the politics today, I did get into the religion. I have no choice because I do see hip hop as the equivalent as culture and religion. I hear a lot of people saying it's just a culture. Very, very few say it's a religion. I try to say Malcolm X was Islamic, Martin Luther King was Christianity. So we Islamic Christians coming together under not a socialist ideology, but a community, a civilization. That's what Kwame Ture was trying to, but they turned us into the communists, right? Or the fascists. The anti-fascists is the fascists. Joe Obama. Yeah, I don't mess with Joe Obama like that. But I did enough. I did enough damage to the game. I get back with y'all later. I just want to drop something real quick and say one. God, that is hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. So yeah, they done locked me up on Facebook again. So I can't post on Facebook. So I might as well do a video, go back to YouTube. I know I want to make more videos and be more consistent in making these. But I'm gonna keep this one quick. I'm not going to try to really go over 5 minutes. Just to, I guess, hammer it back in there to take it back to that level of people understand. Like, hip hop is an American culture, created by the children of the 1960 Civil Rights Movement. This is our creation. So when we have a president like Joe Biden try to dictate what hip hop is, like he'll point at Jay-Z and be like, hey, see how but he don't point at Jay-Z. Of course, Jay-Z's a puppet of the Democratic Party. I don't hate on Jay, but it is kinda, because you're a billionaire now, dude. You ain't gotta play with him no more. What are you doing? Like, step up, be real for once. That's what we talking about. Like, that's what Ice Cube did. He don't talk to Ice Cube. because he knows Ice Cube won't tell him that truth. Like, yeah, man, y'all gotta stop saying that we the problem. Our people, black people, are the problem, and accept the truth. Like y'all are oppressing us. You're the one pointing at the hip hop community, going, it's them, it's they. They're the ones that the problem. They're the ones that they're the Antifa. Black Lives Matter is the Antifa, is what he says. He doesn't say it straight out like that, but that's what he implies. Always what you say with the Democratic Party. You see, they're using causery and sophistry to play this game of street, to see if the black, see how they ignorant, see how they are. That's what he's doing. That's the racial game that they get. When most hip hoppers I know the intelligence behind the music. So when Wu-Tang first came back with Tune, and Inspector said, atomically with Socrates' philosophies, like we looked that up. We knew that was knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We knew that was going to understand it, freedom, justice, and equality. But that's not what they want to push. They TV and all these other knuckleheads that all they want to talk about is sex, drugs, and rock and roll or whatever. Like they try to use that as their selling point to point at hip hop with a lowercase culture, like it is but it is what's wrong with the community. But every hip hopper I know knows some intelligent bars. They know hip means to know. It's a form of intelligence. You know what I mean? They know hop is a movement. You can't just observe a hop. You gotta hop up and do it. Like we know these bars, right? But and I'm not trying to go off crack or anything, because like I said, I started with this with the three fates of mythology, they stuff, and notice how they doing it. They stuff. Notice how they doing it. And notice how they doing it. They in this triad of hippies, gay and feminism, and that's what the LGBTQIA plus sells to be. Now they add Black Lives Matter to the end of that, and then put all the blame of all the gun violence and everything on black people. Then get upset when we blow the whistle. That's what the black. That's what the true underground. That's what we put in the underground. Look at how they playing with it when they do the three fates thing, right? I talked about it. Me and my son, we watched Snow White. When I talked about it, me and my son, we know Snow White's mother, the evil witch, and Snick. I mean, the good, the bad, and the beautiful, right? That's how I try to put it. Where Clint Eastwood was, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Here's the bad. And talking about the three fates, right? The three fates of mythology. Now today is what you see. They talking about the Hulk. Now that's the modern day with Jekyll and Hyde, right? That's what it's supposed to be. But when you look at the three different Hawks that they had over the past years of beginning years of this MCU that they created, you got the first Hawk by Ang Lee, right? You had Ed Norton played who was a little aggressive, right? Who was the good. Second was the bad. And now they got Mark Ruffalo on this Professor Hawk, but he's on some, anti-man good, like the Hawk's a punk. And then when we say something about it, it's like something transphobe, homophobe. You know what I mean? We're the ones that's in fear. We're the ones that agree. We're the one that, you know what I'm saying? So this is the game that they play. You know what I'm saying? And they doing the same thing with hip hop. So when it comes to hip hop intelligence, even though hip hop began with with the message, beyond before the message, start talking about broken glass everywhere, people peeing in the corner like they just don't care. Like we was trying to elevate from that. You know what I mean? That's the truth. You know what I mean? That's that real hip hop right there. Hip hop, that's that real hip hop. You know what I mean? This false, these false rappers that's talking all this, the LGBT, they talking all that stuff, right? That's okay. You know what I mean? But you start mentioning KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, Chuck D, they start, you know what I mean? Like Chuck's had to step away. Chuck's raps, right? He's like, all right, we're gonna give Bernie one more chance. But they waste of their time, waste of our time. You know what I mean? They you know, we knew they can railroad everybody just so they can put Biden in office. We know this. We not done when it comes to politics. But this is the game they're gonna keep playing, pointing at hip hop, blaming hip hop. And hip hop is an intelligent movement created by us, created by one God. That is. How did we get here? I still don't understand. and I know a lot of people hearing this don't understand what I'm actually talking about. That's why I've been centering it around our culture, spelled with a K, hip hop. You know, it's an American culture created by us, the children of the 1960s civil rights movement. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Kwame Ture. I can repeat that over and over again. That's the beginning of my thoughts when talking about religion, politics, and science. So I'm making another quick video. I'm making another. Give me another 5 minutes of your time. I'm quick with it. But I don't want to confuse your thought in relating to the other 6 mini-sodes, I like to call them. When it's concerning, you know, just the current state of things. You know? So you gotta watch all 6 verses episodes that I'm calling these, and listen to the tone, listen to the lyrics, listen to the words, write the words down, just to understand like where I'm really coming from with this. You see, I was put on Facebook jail. They say because I talked about, you know, kidnapping, right? And it's like, you can't use that word. All right, you can't use that word. All right, cool. You know what I mean? But you have a Democratic president using the word abortion amongst people who are just willingly able to doing it. Like, and it's like, yo, where is the? And they strike me and ban me from speaking against speaking the other side that fast. And y'all don't believe that is true, but it's true. That's why I call him Joe Obama. Obama was on the same movement. Joe Biden's on that same movement. He's on that same movement. He's on Philadelphia. What was that, Thursday night, Friday night? My agenda is. And he had a red background. He looked real satanic, like he was the Antichrist. And now they're going to ban me, strike me, strike me, Antichrist, when it's actually Donald Trump, when it's like Donald Trump's not the president. See how the game is in that, and there it is. See, but I think what's really scared out of them, there is some bad about Biden, because I ain't even talk bad about Biden. I just mentioned, you know, kidnapping, but you know, fatherhood. They trying to put us in a bad light. It's like fatherhood's out here kidnapping all the children, and it's like, well, nah, that's motherhood doing that. That's motherhood wanting to be single parent homes. That's motherhood doing that. You know, and it's not actually motherhood; it's sisterhood. That's co-opting motherhood to do it. Sisterhood, you know, might be a little bit out of control. A little bit out of control. They a lot out of control. And that's where we getting upset. It's like, you got sisterhood, then you're supposed to have womanhood. You're supposed to have motherhood. That's supposed to be the hierarchy. And what was I really talking about? I was talking about STEM. Yes, STEM. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. I was talking about teaching my students STEM. They don't want that. They don't want like fatherhood teaching these children STEM. They want to teach them STEM. And what are they teaching them? Instead of STEM, they're teaching them white critical race theory, which is a sociological aspect. That has nothing really to do with science. It's more psychological than philosophical. That's their movement. So they don't want black fathers. So if I go into schools and I try to get a job in the public, they want to be able to tell me, are you in a public school? This is what you got. And it's like, what? No. I'm like, my son goes here. This is what I teach my son. No. You ain't allowed to teach him. You got to teach him what we tell him to teach him. No, I'm teaching my son STEM. And they don't want me to teach him STEM. Wow. Because I'm a hip hopper. I'm about that real hip hop. See, I can transform STEM from science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. I can change to soul, truth, enlightenment, and morality. You see why they scared? Are you starting to see why they scared? Y'all are one God. That is hip hop.
All right, let's see if we can do this right. Add some music to the background of this. But yeah, do a video real quick and all right, let's see if we can do this right. Add some music to the background of this. But yeah, do a video real quick and right now, the black from Supreme Judges denounce repetition is the mother of skill. $5 for a carton of eggs, and all the Democrats have ever given you is death. Right now, the black man is at the bottom. They done flipped from Supreme Judges. Denounce right now. The black man is at the bottom. They done flipped the pyramid upside down. And the black man is at the bottom. Repetition is the mother of skill. From Supreme Judges denouncing her womanhood to Michelle Obama hating her husband. Repetition is the mother of skill. Hip hop is an American culture spelled with a K. $5 for a carton of eggs, $5 for a gallon of milk. Hey, and all the Democrats have ever given you is death, abortion, destruction, divorce, and you still voting for them? $5 for a carton of eggs. Repetition is the mother of skill. Hip hop is an American culture spelled from Supreme Judges denouncing her womanhood to Michelle Obama hating her husband. We are at war. Right now, the black man is at the bottom. They done flipped the pyramid upside down. And the black man is at the bottom. Right now, the black... All right, let's see if we can do this right. At one point in hip-hop's history, freedom of speech was freedom or death. Now they trying to silence us being toxic masculine.
Let's do this. Y'all give us 817 likes. Let's do this, y'all. And we're going to talk about this in our next episode.
See, the way it works is I had to do this unauthorized collab. Real talk. See, the way it works is I have to do this unauthorized.
Oh yeah, in the game, I thought I was going to be extending video time, but Volo popped up at the very last second and whatnot. He might have to unmute himself.
Yeah, all is good. What's up, yo?
Nothing chilling, man. I wasn't ready. I was like, all right, there's 2 minutes left. I guess I'm about to go ahead and let this video run a little bit and whatnot. I'm about to make me something to eat.
That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm muting and on and off. But I hear you. I was watching it on one of them. I was flipping between different YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff to see it on different things and hit the like button. There used to be 2 likes on the thing, me and you.
Oh yeah, that's how you supposed to, dude. You don't think I go through even when I go through just because likes make them show it to other people. So if there's 2 or 3 likes or 1 or 2 or 3 people watching, then they'll show it to a few strangers to say, hey, some old people, we're actually liking and watching something right now. You know what I mean? But if you don't have no likes or just a like from the person is streaming, that they don't really respect that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. That like likes from other people. So I mean, luckily I guess I built very good relationships across Facebook. So I'm on I actually am a moderator on I think it's 30 different accounts. And only 5 or 10 of them are actually mine. The rest of them are people's joins people added me to. So I can even go to other people's accounts that like this one called Soda Bro Zone. It's from my homeboy I rock with. He want to do a show with me. So he made me a moderator. So I can go to his page and come watch our shit. You know what I mean? And shit like that. So I try to do that to help a little bit. And that helps increase. But, that's why as anybody that's watching to like it, even if you think the show sucks, hit like anyway. Hit like later after it's already done streaming so we can get replays that the algorithm will show it to other people. Hit like if you happen to pass through and just see it. Just hit like and keep moving. You don't got to do all that stuff. I mean, that's the purpose of having a show. You want to promote the best you can. But likes are free. They take half a second. They cost nothing, and it does not hurt you to give us a like. Unless I guess you don't want us to succeed. That would be a reason.
And even if you don't like it, hit the dislike, right?
Yep. Yeah. You gotta dislike. You only got like the mad face or the cry on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
And then YouTube, they got a dislike and whatnot. So hit the dislike on YouTube if you're watching YouTube. Hit the dislike on YouTube, please. If you don't like the show, they don't got a dislike on Twitch. I don't believe, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, don't got it on that. Also, I was stuttering for clothes, so I didn't know what to do. So I got my Superman cape. Rocking that with my LeBron jersey. That's my outfit for the day with my Superman glasses. So I'm on my Clark Kent jump out here. So our tech lord of the week is Dr. Charles Richard Drew, who I believe worked with blood plasma and stuff like that. Is that right, Volo?
There it is, yeah.
Okay, so he's a technological god. We'll be talking about him a lot later. We also break up the show. Go ahead.
Nah, I ain't saying nothing. I'm walking and
Okay. Well, we also usually try to break up the show to give it segments, to give it some organization to it. We typically do a news segment looking at the technology news of the day. We'll have an editorial segment after that. Things off of my mind, things off of Volo's mind, whatever we can come up at the time. If some things come up, we may look up some extended videos and review those during those particular segments. Segment number 3 is Charles Richard Drew. We'll be going over some videos about him, reading through his Wikipedia, discussing what he's done from his creative, technological, because medical advances, all science. You saw the video earlier, which Volo, great fucking video. That STEM video with the letters and the soul and enlightenment shit.
Yeah.
More videos exactly like that. That shit was the perfect, like the way he broke it down. It's very comprehensible, and then using the lettering really helped bring people into the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I missed the Oculus, man. I was coming up with some real good ideas with it, and
it's broken or something, or you had to toss it.
Nah, you know what I mean. I'm going through the other thing, so she has that.
Oh yeah, well as Mr. BS would say, bitches ain't shit.
Birds are stupid, man.
Oh yeah. Birds are stupid. Now I had no idea that birds are also bitches. So men are bitches, bitches are bitches, and birds are bitches.
I'm trying with y'all. I really am trying without
Oh,
you know. giving a straight lecture. Because you know what the like I saw the movie not too long ago is Menace to Society.
Yeah.
And what's the kid's name? Not Old Dog or the main character, the guy that was preaching all the time. We got to look it up.
The Muslim guy?
Yeah.
It was like Rajam or Karam or something like that. It was one of them names like that. But he used to be a thug, but he wasn't no more.
Yeah.
Let's look up the Muslim kid in Menace, right?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, well, why not? That's what do you think we got a show for, fool?
I go right ahead. I'm like I said, I'm cooking some fries, so I'm kind of moving around right now.
So what was your thoughts about that? Why I do this?
Oh well, his character he's the one that's going. We got to stop you calling them business, and we got to start. You know what I mean? You call them queens or whatever. I'm not that extreme with it. You know what I mean? I'm
Sharif.
Sharif.
Yeah. Now, did you know that Tupac was supposed to play Sharif?
Exactly, and that's funny, and you know his killer finally being captured, you know, indicted or whatever, and you know it's interesting how they play these games with us, as far as you know, life is, because he was supposed to play that role, and the Hughes brothers were saying that he didn't want that role. He wanted to be either Old Dog or the main character, you know.
Yeah, he wanted to be hard because he didn't want to be a reform gangster. He wanted to be an active tough guy in the movie. And he didn't want to be the whole peaceful dude in the movie type boy.
Yeah.
Like he was playing a punk or something, I guess was his attitude.
Yeah. That's
that's Tupacalypse. I wonder why you died at 25. I'm just saying, right?
You know, I'm here to say check the chat and say allegedly. Make sure you say allegedly.
I think Tupac died allegedly. Matter of fact, they actually did just arrest Keefe D.
Yeah.
For the murder of Tupac. Some say they actually saw a big arm come out the car, and his cousin, they said was a skinny guy. The guy they said actually was supposed to do it. Some guy named OG, whatever the fuck, right? But everybody's saying it may have been actually Keefe D who did the shooting, and he just threw it on his dead cousin. And whatnot. And then went out for clout to try to get clout to talk about it, and thought he was kind of, I guess, tricking motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Oh, I think if he was legitimately arrested, he's probably going to go down as an accessory, since there's probably no true way to prove it was him, unless there is an eyewitness that can verify that he was the only chunky motherfucker in the car.
Well, I don't know the whole story. I was waiting for somebody to really put it together or whatever, and find out about it later.
So what where are you confused about this whole Tupac story before we get into this Menace Society review video?
One, I know that Tupac stomped some dude. They all stomped the dude in the casino beforehand. Did he have anything to do with it, or?
Okay, so this is the whole story. So you remember when back in the rap days, they used to have those death row chains, right? Everybody used to have a chain, a Puff Daddy chain, a death row chain.
Yeah.
One of the silly claims was that Puff Daddy had put some kind of money hit out for somebody in LA to steal one of their chains, and he'll give him $20,000 for it. This was never verified, but it was word on the street. And apparently one of the Crip guys, because Suge Knight and them were Bloods, and one of the Crip guys had this, I think they just got a natural LA gang beef. And in one of the fights, somebody's chain got taken. And this guy, his chain, he took the chain, right? A Crip. He beat the guy and took the guy's chain from death row. So they come back and they tell Tupac about it, but this is weeks before the Vegas fight, right? Tupac ain't had nothing to do with it. It was really some side dude that was part of the crew that nobody knows. So Tupac basically died over a nobody. That was part of their death row crew, right? So basically, so then they go along, everybody goes to the fight like normal gangbangers and rich dudes do. They get dressed up, they all go to Vegas, because that's everybody in LA, that's their favorite thing to do is to go to Vegas, dog. That's what everybody out here does. All their birthdays, they love, you go to Vegas this week, every 2 fucking weeks, they're always in fucking Vegas. It's their favorite thing to do. So they went out there just to see the fight and whatnot. And when they're in the hotel lobby at the fight, one of the guys that was with Suge Knight's crew said, "Yo, Pac, there's that nigga right there that jumped me at the mall and stole the chain." And basically he was telling everybody, he wasn't just telling Pac specifically, he was just telling the crew, like, "Yo, that's the niggas right there from a couple weeks ago that beat me up and stole my shit," right? So then Pac, they said Pac heard it and just took off like the first one. like, oh, that's him. Boom, started walking over there immediately. Wow, and then they followed up, and saw you see the fight on video with Suge Knight and them kind of kicking the guy while he's down, and all that. And so they beat him up. And this was Keefe D's cousin. I forget his name. It's like Orange something or Orange Juice Jones. It's some old kind of dumb crip name, gangster name. You know how the dumbass gangbanger names is. But he was the one who actually had gotten the previous stuff. He was known as a hitter, but a shady dude that didn't really pay people back kind of stuff. That's why he ended up dying. But he was the one that stole it. And so they jumped him. And then, of course, his feelings is hurt. He's been embarrassed. His ass just got whooped in the middle of the joint, and Keefe D and was kind of like there, but not there. So he comes to find them afterwards. It's like, yo, fam, pocket all them niggas just jumping. This rap nigga just beat me up. One-on-one, I'll beat a rap nigga ass. Ain't no rap nigga gonna beat a real G like me ass. So now it's a real crip gangster who just got his ass whipped by a rap nigga who wears mace up and sits in tubs naked with gold on his penis. Right? That's literally who he just got beat up by. So he's like, oh hell no, that's not flying, my nigga. So they kind of like, yo, chill, we ain't really even strapped up for that anyway. But according to Keefe D, the car they were rolling in that night, where he was basically, I guess, the designated driver and whatnot. So if they did get pulled over, he wouldn't, you know what I mean? So he was like the designated driver of the night, and the rest of them was kind of kicking it. And he said they had just coincidentally after the fight pulled up right next to Tupac and Suge Knight in that van. And matter of fact, a side note, Shaquille O'Neal 5 minutes earlier just denied to get in the car with them that night. Because Suge was like, yo, ride with us. And Shaq just was like, nah, I got no ride. I got some bitches I'm fucking with.
Oh, okay.
But he was supposed to be in that car.
Wow, like.
Yeah, Shaq was supposed to be in the backseat of that car.
Wow.
Yep. But he turned him down just coincidentally, right? Went about his business, and then they drove down the street, and then they just happened to pull up next to him, and then the boy that just got beat up was like, yo, there go them niggas right there. What's happening? And then the dude, I guess, whose car it was, Keefe D claims that the guy whose car it was, he said, yo, I do got something up in the little side compartment over here for emergency purposes. So they wasn't initially strapped or planning nothing when they came there, but they claimed that the car that he was driving and rolling had a secret compartment with a gun in it. The guy told him about it. Now, this is where things get cloudy. This is where Keefe D says he was just driving after he heard this, and then next thing you know, all he heard was bang, 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 and then he just peels off, right? He claims he didn't know what happened. According to the reasons he's being arrested now, what people are saying because of the arm sticking out of it, they're saying no. They told Keefe D, and Keefe D grabbed the joint and just rolled out. And his cousin actually didn't shoot him, but since his cousin died a couple of weeks later in like a dirty drug deal situation, they're saying that he's basically throwing on his cousin's dead body, but he was really the guy that pulled the trigger, and that the gun was in the secret compartment. So that's the whole story of how Tupac died and what happened.
Wow.
And yes, some Crips did kill Tupac, and ironically, Crips did kill Biggie too. Very interesting. Community resistance in progress. Yep, that's why I wear my Superman cape. I got my season ticket. It only takes an hour to get there on the train. Boy, I'm about to be going like once every couple of weeks. Yo, dude, I hadn't been in like 2 years. I forgot how good roller coasters is, fam.
They therapeutic, man. We trying to hit what's the name? Hopefully by Halloween.
So have you ridden the single rail Wonder Woman or whatever they call it type roller coaster? You know, they put you in a single line. There's only one seat. It's almost like a worm ride, but it's like a real roller coaster.
Yeah.
No. Have you ridden one of these yet?
No. That's
nigga. Let me tell you right here. All roller coasters are trash after you get on this shit. And it looks small. It looks like, yo, this shit like the size of my house. This ain't dog. You remember that one joint they used to have at Six Flags? It was like called the Rattlesnake or some shit. The Rattler. It was like a little short joint.
The green one.
Yeah, the green joint.
What was the name of that?
I forget what it was called.
Viper.
It wasn't the Viper. It was something else. But it was a quick banger ride named after a snake. And that remember it had a little hill. He's like, yo, this shit got a little hill. This ain't too much. And then the minute you go over, you're like, yo, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait. Does the ride over yet, nigga?
Yeah. That's Viper. Viper was no joke, man. Viper used to break the
that
net.
was Viper. Oh my God, that joint used to hit. Yo, that's how this Wonder Woman, because they call it Wonder Woman here.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And dog, I mean, it goes fast when you go up, so you take off, it's going fast on the way up. It's got the accelerated hill. It whatnot, dog, straight vert drop. You know what I mean? So you look at yo, nigga, you out your seat. It's just like this. The whole ride. You doing this. Oh shit. Dog, it's fast. It's hitting. And now with these new rail systems, like the wooden roller coasters, the steel roller coasters, we're doing shit that I didn't think a car could do. Like, yo, it was shit happening like, oh, we coming off the track. Nope, this is it, right here. I was like, I don't even know how they ran this shit all day. We coming up. Then this one joint had a curve that went up and it still was dipping in the middle of the curve. Like, I'm like, yo, this shit is factually impossible. And Joe's like, the line. I'm like, yo, we're gonna die, man. This shit is gonna break. I'm like, no, of course not. It's $50 million if we all die on this shit a person, right? But man, dog, yeah, anybody out there that's a roller coaster junkie, you gotta ride them single rail roller coasters. What's the one in Six Flags called?
It's called Diablos, or it's named after like a devil or something.
Dog, you gotta ride that. Got to ride. It's gonna mess up other roller coasters a little bit for you. Ride that shit last, man.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, because the only thing that competes with it, it's like basically it's like a miniature version of like Goliath or the new wooden roller coasters. I don't know if they you know how they might have redone the wooden roller coasters.
We just did what's the name? Wildcat at Hershey
Okay,
Park.
so Wildcat is a good example. So it's going to be like Wildcat, but scarier and faster and more dangerous. I don't know. Wildcat made your knees fucked up, but boy, you better wear some knee braces and some Flexel 454 for this. Because you ain't gonna do shit. Like, yo, why my joints hurt?
Well, you know, I
I
don't drink like you and Lee do. Y'all be doing that liquor.
Man, look, man, alcohol loosens up the muscles so you don't get injured, man. That's why drunk drivers don't die. They just hit the dashboard all loose. Everybody else is sober. That's why they don't make it. So that's a piece of advice. If you ever don't want to die, just drink a lot. That's how I survived getting hit by a bus. Fixed my jaw. Didn't feel a thing until the next day. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with the whole left side of my body? Like, dog, I'm talking all this was sore. And it was funny. I didn't have a drop of dirt on me or nothing. It looked like I looked perfectly fine, but my finger was cut. And I think it's because I was on the scooter and it cut my hand. But my fingers, I thought my fingers were, it's back to normal now. But I thought my finger was ruined for life. But it's back to normal now, thank God. But this shit wasn't even close for the longest. But this is fixed. And then I had a broken jaw that hadn't healed right that I was supposed to get like what's called a J loan for. A J Pro with J Pro loans. Now, if you guys don't know, if you ever need money and you have bad credit, but you're willing to pay something back, there is actually a website called jewloan.com. I am not joking. I don't know how it seems racist. Their own site seems racist to me. But yes, you could go there and get a $3,000-$4,000 cash loan, just like on some Shylock stuff, where they're like, yeah, take it, my friend. We got you, right? And then every month you pay them like a couple $100 to pay the shit back. They wanted me to do that to get my jaw fixed because my insurance wouldn't cover the fees for the wiring. So I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm just gonna hold my mouth still for a couple of weeks, and it was fine, but my mouth was off. Well, because of alcohol and bad decisions, I almost got killed by a bus this past New Year's, and my jaw is perfectly fine, and my teeth are wonderfully aligned now. I can bite my fingernails with everything. So, you know, alcohol does have its benefits, Volo. That's all I'm saying.
I know, man.
Yeah, I'm actually
it's looking good on YouTube. I'm on YouTube right now. It looking good.
Great,
you know?
great. Yeah, I'm actually on.
But I love that. I love that we jump around and just be rapping and
yeah. Well, that's part of the show. That's the beauty of technology. This show is the essence of the concept. It's not only a technology show, but it's performed on great technology, great economical cameras. I got motorcycles outside bothering us, ice cream trucks driving in left and right. I mean, I got a Superman cape on, for Christ's sake. If that's not a thanks to technology, what is? You know what I'm saying? Jesus, that's just beautiful. But you were talking about the Menace to Society and O-Dog and Sharif character thing. What was your logic about that as I pull up the video?
Yeah. Well, Sharif, he was the goody two shoes and trying to preach and give knowledge and wisdom and understanding and all that good 5% of stuff, which is the other half of hip hop that we kind of front like hip hop is not emerging from Christianity and Islam, which we actually did. That's what we did as being soulful people. And then of course the whole Tupac thing, but the contrast that I discovered, and because I watched Menace to Society not too long ago. I got a new friend that I follow on Facebook, Professor Parker. He started talking about School Days, which is a great movie. But my favorite has always been what's the name of the movie? I'm messing up now with the movies. Higher Learning. Yeah, Higher Learning is more of what I went through versus going to the all black.
Well, School Days I think was pre our era, and when I think that would be what you would call either like Pebbles and Taffy, like they're old enough to kind of be in that kind of era, or even what you would say like Uncle Shang if he went maybe to a black school in the late 70s. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, hold on. I'm trying to think what year that came out now. 88, 89, maybe.
It was like a 80s, 90s kind of movie and whatnot. But I didn't go to college until 93. That means Shelly went in like what 86. And whatnot.
Yes, maybe.
So that was like Shelly, Pebbles, Taffy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was their gang, and that was their crew. And you was like you're like at the high end because I'm the last of the Gen Xers. Like I think there's one more year after me with Gen X. I'm 48 now. I think maybe Gen X is what 45, 46 and up. And
it's generally the 70s.
Yeah, the 70s. But Gen X, Shelly's considered Gen X, but she's 7 years older than you.
Yeah. So she's 68 or 69.
Yeah, so it's like 66, 67 to like 78, 79. Like it's like a 15, 20 year span. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whatnot. So you're kind of in the middle, towards the end. I'm at the very end. I'm damn near. What is the next one called?
Gen will be Gen Y, but they called it something different. Yeah,
I think they call them millennials, didn't they?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they call them millennials. So I'm like an elderly millennial or an immature Gen Xer, right? So that's why we probably related more to Higher Learning because it came a couple of years later. It was more of a developed version of School too.
Well, Higher Learning, I was smack dead in the middle, and when I watched it the first time, I was Ice Cube's character. Like that was like I'm sitting there watching it with the young boys, and they looking at me like, "Is that you, nigga?"
I mean, that's a perfect example. Like for example, I mean, we watched it at home. Like Shelly and them watched, School Days at college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were literally at college at black schools seeing all that shit outside their window. Going through the light skin, dark skin thing and all that.
Yeah, the colorism and stuff.
Yep. So let's check this out.
Okay, go ahead. No, I was going to say, but go ahead. And I'll just say this real quick before you hit that play or whatever. So that made me notice that Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society is actually kind of like part 2 to Boys in the Hood.
I agree.
And then part 3, I would say, is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
I mean, basically, because that game was pretty much like, you know how they do those spoof movies like Drinking Your Juice in the Hood and all that?
Yeah.
I believe that's what they did with GTA. They took all the different hood movies and kind of mixed them together and stuff like that. So you could kind of remember they had like the Eazy-E character, they had the MC8 character, like how you would recognize these dudes from being in Boys in the Hood, literally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they had that same MC8 character that was in Boys in the Hood that was a gangster but wasn't getting into stuff. He was in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they know what they're doing when they do that. Don't just think they got lucky, Volo.
Oh no, it's so that's the trilogy to me. That's our Godfather 1, 2, and 3.
Nice. And you wonder why the African community is in shambles to this day.
Exactly.
Woo! Godfather, our Godfather is San Andreas, GTA. What? y'all struggle. That might explain a couple of things. You know, we might want to get back to the STEM talk. But in relation to the Sharif thing, how did you relate that whole stuff to the Sharif thing, and what made you bring up Sharif specifically?
Well, I thought about the Sharif thing, a couple months ago when Tupac first popped up not too long ago. Shout out to Kenyatta, right? He did a video on Tupac, and whenever I hear Tupac, that's one of the first things that pop in my head is that he turned down that character, and it showed that he didn't really have the acting range that they tried to push him to be. Same with DMX too.
Well, what I found out what was funny about Tupac, I guess when he was younger, like he said, the reason he didn't get a lot of girls, didn't get a lot of respect, because he was that sweet, nice poem writing, flower picking, I'll cry for you over a pretty flower type of dude, right? So he basically was like, I don't want to go back out and being typecast as that because people gonna think I'm soft. So I want to establish myself as hard, because everybody that really knows me, they basically know I'm soft. So to him, acting hard was the real acting, because that wasn't really him.
Mm.
See how deep that is?
I hear you.
See, because when people think about it, they think, oh, he's acting hard because Tupac was always a hard guy, so it's easy for him to act. There go the lack of acting range. Actually, it is the inverse to such. Tupac, R.I.P., was an actual bitch-ass nigga that was very creative and loved to dance and write poetry and acted very well and could read and knew Shakespeare and all that shit. And Jada Pinkett never dated him and turned him into the side homie because of said thing. And as he got dissed by girls like Jada Pinkett and the rest, he became this thug. And then that's when she got fascinated with him, because she knew he was a bitch nigga turned thug. And she was the one that put him on to selling drugs, by the way, because she was selling drugs when they met. So this guy,
who was in Minister Society, by the way.
Yeah, this guy was a nice guy that literally became a true gangster strictly for pussy and respect. But really, deep down inside, the nigga just wanted to read poetry to a bitch. And that's Tupac. And that's why his acting, that's why he wanted to play these thug roles so much. You didn't know that he was an openly bitch-ass nigga. But he was really a bitch-ass nigga that was like, no, bitch-ass nigga. You know what I mean? So did you get that?
Yeah, but I don't give Pac the BAN treatment. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give that more to LL before I give it to.
Well, no. In the world of Kenyatta Black, the Red Crew guys, guys like Minister Jap and things, they will call him, or even I'll give him a shout out to Obsidian, even though I'm upset with his betrayal with us, with Pearl. I will say they would call him an educated lame. And in the olden days, they would call me and you that, but they would call us nerds, right? Black nerds. Blurds is the nerd time. BLERD. Shout out to my blurds out there, man. But black nerds. And now they call that an educated lame. And that is a guy that didn't have the swag, was the nice guy, was raised to be nice to girls, didn't think you had to lie to women or talk crazy. You just show them who you are and be a good person and all that, and they'll go with you. And this, that, and the third. But then what happens is you start your Microsoft. You start your Amazon, you get some tattoos, maybe you rob a few dudes, you dunk a ball, and then all of a sudden them same girls, like Tupac was a blur, now they're like, oh, he's the most godliest God dude ever. And it's like, nah, I had to become this super nigga for you to get it. Now, bitch, I want the young holders like you. No disrespect to old bitches. Shout out to old hoes. Everybody needs if you young out there,
304s, man, 304s.
Young 304s, which we sometimes call hoes. So that's how that works. Young guys out there, if you do want to get you some quick loving with no questions asked, talk to an older woman, right around 35 and up. Man, if you're in your 20s, I'm talking one date, a 30-minute long date. Well, yeah, we ate. All right, let's go. Like, older women. Problem is, after that first couple times, you're like, yo, her boobies hang to her knees. This is weird. Them stretch marks. It's like, they're not even my stretch marks. They other people's stretch marks. All right, let's get into this clip since both of us talking so much.
You about to get them in trouble, man.
Oh, man, look, we already did that with that first hour of your videos. You done offended half the country.
Yo, Kane, man, it's Stacey Cherie. You all right, man?
Hell no, I ain't shit in a week.
Damn, in a week?
Come on, brother. You wasn't there long enough to catch the HIV.
Fuck you. What you fools want anyway?
You still want me to take you to get this car or what?
Hold on.
Come on now, get up from off your knees praying to that porcelain god. That white porcelain god.
There you go.
Won't you chill, Farrakhan?
Hey, man, you better not throw up in my ride, man.
Ain't nobody gonna throw up in your ride.
Yeah, motherfucker, right back on your ass. I hear it in the bushes and I crept up through the grass.
Okay, pause. We gotta pause right here. Number one, is this not the hardest goddamn music you've ever heard in your life? Like, I didn't realize how terrible the music was in this movie until they play. I'm like, who is that? Easy? Like, what is that?
That's that shit right there.
Yeah, honestly, that sounded like music they made to mock hip hop. Like, you know what gangster music sounded like back in the day? It sounded just like this.
You fake Irish faggot, you got a big booty of a laugh. Let me take it, cause you
What?
look like a woman. But you trying to clown. I kicked you in your ass. That's how you jump around.
I like this car here. This car was fire.
Nigga, and I'ma tell you
Say,
about
Herman,
daddy before I pull the
why don't you
trigger.
come to
Now,
Kansas
daddy is
with
the
us?
nigga getting hit.
What, nigga?
Hey man, y'all need to stop calling each other niggas. That's what y'all need to stop doing.
Exactly.
Anyway, nigga.
Like, I ain't doing this. Any comments so far?
No, I'm sitting here laughing because I just watched this movie not too long ago.
I said you should come up to Kansas with us. Nigga, what? You going deaf, motherfucker?
You going to Kansas with this fool?
Yeah, Kane, you should come too, man. I mean, you're not doing nothing out here but getting yourself in a lot of trouble. I know your grandmother would be happy.
Shit, I ain't going no place.
I think Ronnie got a lock on his fools, what I think.
Fool, you tripping.
Hey. Wait, you still pushing up on Ronnie, man?
Man, hell no, Pernilla kick my ass.
Nigga on life without parole? I don't think so. You spend enough time up in that motherfucker. You should be trying to fuck. I know I'd be trying to fuck. What about you, Reed?
Yeah, whatever. Here, put that in work.
Nigga, you better go somewhere with that black power shit. You know that shit gets no play in this ride.
Man, I wish this motherfucker would hurry up.
Oh, that motherfucker go right there and shit.
Now, question, VOLO. Have you
Yeah.
ever had that particular experience right there where you tried to get some people to listen to maybe a conscious song or conscious music, or you started playing it when you guys are out partying? And that's like, man, you always try to play that conscious shit. Turn that bullshit off. I want to hear some killer shit. You ever had that happen to you before?
Yeah, I guess so. But you know, I was usually like the kind of the pseudo DJ, or I'll be the DJ. You know, so I mean, I play what I want, really.
Well, lucky fucking you. Lucky fucking you. You had conscious friends. Well, I grew up and went to school with a bunch of dumb motherfuckers. And they treated me like Sharif. I shouldn't play Sharif. All right, I'm not close, and I love pork. Matter of fact, I got some pork ribs in there I'm eating right now. I'm about to heat them bitches up. No disrespect a lot, but pork is the shit. Let's see what else we got going.
So what's up? Y'all gonna kick it?
Oh man, I gotta go scoop up one of my kids.
One of my
man.
Yeah, one of them.
Assalamualaikum, my brother.
Hey man, what the fuck is that, man? Get that shit out my face.
Nice Junior and shit, man. Get your ass in the front seat, man.
All right, bro.
Oh, I got another one.
What's
Another
that?
question about this thing, because we gotta stop it too for fair use purposes too, to do some talking in between. So did you notice the thing about him telling them to get out of the back seat?
Yeah.
So have you ever had that experience where somebody refused to drive off until you get into the front seat? Like, nigga, I ain't your chauffeur. Get in the front fucking seat.
You know that's mandatory. Exactly.
Oh, yeah. I always use this that shit. They were like, you a guy? Like, no, I like it back here. It's nice and cozy. Like, motherfucker, I ain't your chauffeur. I'm like, oh wait, I can't be back here because you got an ego problem.
This ain't Uber, nigga.
Hey, shit, it's better than Uber. It's free, and I got a driver, nigga. What are you talking about? Anyway, that's the rule. Get your ass up here. I ain't your chauffeur.
You got the bread? Shut up. This shit legit.
Hey, I told you, man. My brother works at the DMV, man. All the numbers are clean.
I had the dope ride.
Got it.
Yeah, I remember
The
that
5.0 is all that.
I mean, that used to be the car right there, boy. I used to want that car so bad. It's like I still want one now, but not as much as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one in there that he had is like the perfect looking one. Like I don't need a super one, but one just like that would be nice if it was brand new. That was
yeah. My man Spence used to he loved the Mustang. We started off high school and he had a 65 Mustang we used to go to school in. 65? Yeah, 65.
Oh, damn, classic joint.
Yeah, so we used to drive to school in that. Gas was $1. Like I'd give him $1 and we'd fill up the tank for a week.
yeah. Oh man, that was the good old days when gas was between like 60 cents and 96 cents. What kind you get, man? Oh, those were the days.
In the 90s, he had a 5.0, you know. But
oh yeah.
I know. But yeah. So those three movies, yeah, that's our Godfather 1, 2, and 3. Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, and then I would say Grand Theft.
It's a non-movie. Huh?
Yeah, specifically, San Andreas, because you do play, CJ.
There we go. That is true.
Okay. Now,
all right.
That meme I made. Okay, you already changed it.
No, go what you saying.
Oh. Now that meme that I made, it was a test on what the cops would do if I bump them. You know what I mean? Since we had that incident in Philadelphia where, the cop was running and screaming and shooting because the dude had a knife. So I made that little cute meme saying what the cop would do. So I bumped the cop car and they walked up on. I took a picture and made that meme that I shared with you, earlier today.
Oh, you bumped. Oh, you mean in the game?
In the actual game, I was. So now I came up with a testing the AI. You know how the artificial intelligence changed from game to game.
Yeah.
So now I'm doing AI tests on what would the cops do if I just bump them type thing.
Yeah, I'm sure they get out and it's on.
Now it was no. That one was funny because the cops got out the car. They walked up to my car, right?
Yeah.
But in Grand Theft, in San Andreas, the rival gang, the dudes that wear the purple.
Yeah.
The dude came up to my car and started just shooting the car. Right? Shooting at me inside the car.
The cops. I was just clapping on you.
The cops walked away.
All right. Oh, well, that's their problem. Huh? Nice. Well, that's their problem, not ours. Oh, well. That's outstanding. So I got a real world cap to that story. I had a dude that I used to hang out with out here on the time. He actually has been arrested and cited for exactly that in Minnesota. He was in Minnesota. He gets to being crazy. He was on some mad shit, and this nigga was driving crazy, and he bumped the back of a cop car while driving.
Wow. Doing
too much. So, of course, they arrested, gave him a ticket, and he actually had to go back to Minnesota for like a court case over this shit. So,
wow.
So that's what really happens when you bump cop cars.
Yeah. Get a ticket.
Right? So let's check out. We're moving into our news segment. So let me try to put up a little banner to act like I'm trying to do something. Let me see here. We'll do this one. We'll do our tech news report and see what's going on in current tech news right now. Check some of that out, read through some of these current technology stories and see what's going down in these streets. So I see something that has some interest right here. Atari 2600 sees its future in retro gaming. Do you agree, Volo?
I'm still mad about the Intellivision, but yeah, I can feel it. That is the OG.
Yeah, I can picture it. Let's see what they say about the story. The Atari video game system took the late 1970s and early 1980s by storm, complete with a faux wood paneling and classic joystick with a big red button. Rival systems eventually surpassed the video game pioneer, but its iconic status and fans remain. Atari has been working to rebuild a lot of goodwill among those fans and within the broader video game industry. Ever since the new CEO, Wade Rosen, came aboard in 2021. With Rosen at the helm, the company is taking a closer look at its own history and chart its future, releasing the remastered or reimagined versions of the classics like Missile Command and Centipede, producing the critically acclaimed Atari 50 interactive documentary, and introducing a soon-to-be-released Retro Console 2600. I think the 2600 has legs. The 2600 Plus has legs because there'll be new content, new games coming out, but also additional ways to play these games and to make them accessible to larger communities, Rosen told CNN. Do I think these things are going to replace modern consoles? Absolutely not. There's no way that would likely happen, nor would they need to. They're radically different things. The Retro Console arrives November at a $130 price point. I will buy that shit. And in a more compact version also if needed. While it is packaged with 10 games in a single cartridge. You goddamn right. We know how little space they use. You better give us 10 goddamn games. The console will also play the new titles and work with the original Atari 2600. There is an Atari 7800, Volo?
Yeah, that was like maybe the third or fourth one.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I think the second one was 5200.
Oh, okay. So yeah, 26, 52, 78. And they keep adding 26, I guess, or something, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I didn't know they did that. According to Rosen, retro games complement the times and reimagined Atari titles like Haunted House, arriving in October, or new original games like Days of Doom, available now to reflect the speedy pick-up and play style characteristic in the early days of the hobby, right? Just pick up and play. For instance, remastered Haunted House, an elaborate stealth game where players evade colorful ghosts and monsters, but retains the exploration mechanics of which its namesake, that simply featured floating eyes in a roaming dark 2D mage. What people want in video games has changed radically, Rosen noted, explaining that these experiences are designed for the age of complexity. He said, back when we had simplicity, I wanted a 200-hour game with a huge quest, embracing narratives, and all these things. Now I'm like, I can do it a couple of those a year, but life doesn't allow for it very much.
Nope.
Yep. Yeah, I got a lot of dope games I don't even play because they're just too complex.
Yeah,
I'd love to play them, but they're just. I got this couple of games I'm looking at, man. I'm like, damn, this shit look crazy, but it's like it takes too much button pressing and skill and learning all these idiosyncrasies, bitch. I just want to pick up and go, my nigga.
Or
go ahead.
Or that generally it just takes 40 to 80 hours to finish, you know. So
yeah. Well, I don't. Now I used to complain about the length of finishing games. I actually don't mind a game that takes forever because I think I had so many years of going in and smashing the game in 1 day, 2 day, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month at most. I would be a little bit depressed because I'm like, damn, I just spent, especially if I paid a lot for the game. I'm like, damn, I spent all this money for the game. I'm basically, the game is done now. And all I got left is to go back and do all the extra little BS I don't even want to do. So I kind of wish it was longer, but simple longer. Like, you know, for example, Tetris is theoretically endless. But if it did have an end, it would be very, very deep into the game. You know what I'm saying? That I would want that kind of game where it's still simple, but it's just always more. You know?
Yeah, I'm seeing a couple reviews on the new Zelda Tears of the Kingdom because it doesn't take that long to really actually beat it. You know,
like if you actually focused on beating it, you could probably hammer it.
Yeah, so the one guy that I watched, his review was he liked Breath of the Wild better, he says, because you know at the beginning of Breath of the Wild, it just drops you in the middle of this world and it says you can either go fight Ganon right now or you can go over here and talk to this, you know, Impa. And so it kind of encouraged you to explore and not necessarily just try to end the game. You could try, but you know, you're going there with 4 hearts, you're dead before you even get close to the gate, you know. So that's his complaint is that this game is more, it seems to be more linear, but players like myself, I just cut it on and, you know, hunt some duck a little bit and do a little thing. I might do one quest or something, but I'm really exploring the game and just enjoying the time in it, just like I did with Breath of the Wild. That's why I kind of look at it a little differently, like, you know.
Excellent. Well, that's a great thing to spin off into, because that was great. We're excited about the Atari 600. So let's spin into our gaming report with VOLO Speaks. So I heard what you said about the guys like, oh, the game is linear and that way. So basically what he's saying, he can't pretty much skip past stuff. He's got to do everything, and he doesn't like that.
No. He was saying the first game, it didn't, you couldn't take shortcuts.
Yeah.
In this game, you can actually, since you can fly, you could take shortcuts. So you can actually just fly over here, or even though you could warp there before, now you can actually fly over there. Once you get there to a certain shrine, once you get to the shrine, then you can warp to shrine to shrine. But now, in order to get to the shrine, you can just fly in the air and fly over there, kind of a thing. So you could jump around a lot easier, and all you got to do is just go from that quest to, from quest A to whatever F quest, to finish the game. So a lot of people that are real familiar with Breath of the Wild, they probably finish the game in 20 hours. Like, you can finish the game real fast, as opposed to really looking into the mechanics of building stuff now. And me, I'm like, all right, I need some fire, whatever fruit. So I'm trying to find flyer fruit without really knowing the map like that. Like I just be like walking and just
not using like YouTube pages or looking up stuff or nothing, but actually finding it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. And then try to mark it on the thing myself. Like, okay, this is where it is. Let me mark it on the on the map so that I know next time how to get here real fast if I need some more. And
that's what I like to do. Like my rule is, when I play a game, especially like Red Dead Redemption is a GTA kind of, these kind of free world examples, where when I first start playing, I just try to find everything on my own. And if I start coming across it, I'll still just kind of look naturally. But I'll notice if I get to the point where I still took my time and beat the game and I still don't have all those things complete, all right, fuck that. I'm not randomly looking for it no more. I go get the thing and like, show me the map. All right, I'm going to need 20 sides. But kids, I know if I was 10, as soon as because back in the day, stuff like that used to come in those Game Master books and shit. So once you got one of them books, if you have one of them books, it's like you bought that shit a week after you got the game. All you have to do is really just go through the book. So
yeah, and a lot of those games came with the book, like you said. I think last week or so, like actually reading the instructions.
Sometimes they would actually come with the book in the same plastic.
Yeah, with the game.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Ultima 4 is the one that I'm revisiting. I remember when I bought that back in 85 or 86 or whatever. It actually came with 2 books, a cloth map, of the whole town. And it had a little Ankh in it too. So that was one of my favorite games of all time, because it came with so much information, and it actually, just reading all that information that it came with, put you in the game even more so, as one of my first quote unquote Dungeons and Dragons games.
Yeah. And which game is that again?
That was Ultima 4.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the other one is we remember we tried to do a little walkthrough is Bard's Tale. It was another good one that I used to, it came with so much stuff when I first bought it back in the 80s. So
nice. Messing with my lighting a little bit. I didn't have my lighting in full range. That looks really nice. Really bright everywhere. Good. I like it. Ooh. Got one more thing I gotta fix.
But that's where that's where I'm at with Zelda. I'm just still, I'll just fish or whatever, and then boom, and then my son, he's into Sonic right now. Sonic the Hedgehog just updated Frontiers. Frontiers is their new 3D one, and man, this thing is crazy as hell to look at, man. I'm sitting here watching them play. Sonic is straight.
Oh, you're about to watch some of that right now. Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah, Sonic Frontiers. They released it DLC for free, so now he could play as 4 characters: Tails, Knuckles, and he he's dying for me to start telling a story or tale about Knuckles, because he knows that's one of my favorite characters, and they kind of make Knuckles the hip hopper of the crew. You know what I mean? He's kind of a Jamaican kind of character, like, even though they gave him dreadlocks or whatever, so they
yeah, man, I'm Knuckles. Yeah, I'm the black man and the one that punches people for no reason. I'm violent. Yeah, man. Everybody else just runs from me, but me, I hit people. Black man.
Knuckles, that dude. So, but yeah, they got. We talked about the Sonic. Was it Friends? I can't remember the name. There's a new game coming out.
No, I think it might have been Friends, Sonic and Friends, or something like that.
Yeah, but this is an old one. Well, it's not old, but
this says 6 months ago with this video.
Yeah,
it says Sonic Frontiers 3D animation.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so
well, they released some DLC for the game, so now they can play. He can play as multiple characters. I guess his new endings and all kinds of new stuff. So I'm sitting here watching them play, and Sonic is straight Dragon Ball Z Goku turning, to Super Sonic, and it's crazy to watch the animation, yo.
Okay, well, let's take a look. Let's see what this guy's got going on here. Shout out to James_179, whose page I'm checking out for this. He's probably got a lot of great other videos about stuff. Let me hit a like while I'm here. Let me go ahead and sub to the guy, since it looks like I am logged in over here. And yeah, let's check it out and see what this video looks like on this page. This is it, right?
Yeah. I just watched this battle earlier today.
And that's the actual gameplay?
Yeah.
Wow. That looks dope.
Well, they combo it with, cinema and everything.
I'm gonna turn the audio off because I don't know what's up with this music. I don't know if it's copyrighted.
Yeah.
So I'm just turn the music down because I don't know if it's covering some.
Yeah, Sonic used some heavy, metal music and.
Yeah, but in the game, I'm sure that's all copyrighted music they're using. I'll just put this back on. But just looking at it, it looks so dope and whatnot. And this is the gameplay, huh?
It's a combination.
So it's like video. It goes in and out of the video to gameplay.
Yeah.
I like games like that. I like I don't know, is it called theatrical games? But like almost like games where it's like I don't mind being kind of pushed through the story. I like free roam, but still story game. Like Red Dead Redemption and GTA is very good at that. It's still an open world, but there's still a progress. You know what I mean? It's still a story progression. So I like games too that is kind of like you kind of go in and out, like the new TV show Last of Us.
Yeah.
The game Last of Us is like that, like where you be straight up in a cutscene, and then you just wonder like why they not moving. Nigga, it's the game. Like that, the cutscenes is that transitionally nice where you be like, yo, I don't even know I'm playing right now because I'm still watching. Like,
yeah,
I gotta play. It looks like this while I play. Oh,
yeah, and it looks like he's playing like he's cutting he edited it so that it's mostly the cutscenes.
Yeah. And so put them in, so he did the fight scenes and edit in the cutscenes with it to make like a full kind of thing.
Yeah.
It is on some crazy Dragon Ball Z shit like a mug too. Do they explain how it becomes like Super Gold Sonic, or is that just Super Sonic or something? Or
well, that's from game number 1 when you get all the Chaos Emblems.
Oh. Sonic. And then he becomes like this dude, Super Sonic. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, it looks dope as shit. Game looks great. And in this game, you said he can now switch to different characters and play it?
Yeah, he can play as Tails,
Knuckles,
and I think Amy is her name.
Excellent. Do they have like collaborative missions where multiple people play together?
Well, they no. That's supposed to be the next game, which is more 2D based game. This is the latest 3D version of Sonic.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's that friends one, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but my son was doing this battle. Like I don't see the button presses like certain ones. You have to do certain button presses and
at the right time. Yeah.
You got to move around and So it's playing all the the cut scenes or whatever.
Yeah, that's dope. No, this is kind of how I don't know if you played them Telltale games where it's kind of like you do the story and you got the option to do one thing or another. Like I did the Walking Dead series. Did you ever play that?
Nah, but I seen that Batman Telltale and I was interested in that.
Oh, there's a Batman Telltale series?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh shit, I want that. If that's new?
Well,
not old, but like old new, you know.
Yeah, it's within the past 10 years. It was PC.
I wonder if they got it for download somewhere.
Yeah. Well, they got it on, they have one of them on the Switch. It was on sale, but they are bringing out the 3D ones that they had. Yeah. That's coming out soon. That's the one I want to get. The Arkham City ones, the Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and whatever the last one is.
Let me see here.
And now I have them on. I have two of them on PlayStation 3, but my PlayStation 3 didn't load up yesterday.
They didn't finally send out the code.
Yeah.
I didn't send out the code on your head, Jack. Yay. I'm just smoking some tobacco here. But I guess this Batman Telltale series, it says 6 years ago. It says, I guess the full video of it is 5 hours long if you watch the whole story.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find a short one. And they broke it into episodes. Episode 1, 2, and they're like an hour long. That's crazy. Somebody has just something short. Telltale series. Let me see any short.
Hey, I might have to watch one of those.
Yeah, it looks dope. All the Joker scenes. You know what I'll do? I'll check it out, but I'll just skip through. That's what I'll do. I'll just put on one and I'll just skip through the different parts. So I'm sure knowing YouTube, they got this nicely chopped up for your boy. Let's check out Andy Gagnon. Let's see what we got going on here. Hopefully there's no audio issues. We can kind of listen to it. No witchamajiggy music on it. Let me turn my other music down so we can hear what he has to say. Let's switch up to fair use. While I'm working on this, any commentary?
Yeah, I'm interested in that. I know they lower value games. Like I think it's like I think it was on sale for $5.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Shit, I want this shit bad. Yeah, because that's how I first saw the Telltale thing. I didn't see it on PlayStation. My nephew was in here playing it on his computer and whatnot. And I was like, oh man. I was like, this shit look hard, nigga. And I just like watching it. I didn't need to play the joints keep out. Mr. Gillian. Give this man his proper credit. I just want to give people proper credit when you use their videos. Fair use, fair use. Show respect. Respect people's hard work. There we go. Get that fair use up there. Let's check this bad boy out. Get the volume going here. Skip a little bit. Sex.
And I can see him just fine from here. This shouldn't be painful. It's not a kidney stone. It's only a little FaceTime with potential donors. Your face, specifically, with a mouth that's saying, support Harvey Dent. We're the grease, they're the wheels.
So this is before he turned into...
And they're rolling in enough cash and votes to help make Gotham...
So I think this is like the full Batman series. This said if they're probably going from full beginning to end in this
Another
thing.
brutal week in Gotham, folks. A string of home invasions rippled through.
Concerned about Harvey Dent, your next
Yeah, he
mayor.
still isn't even Two-Face.
Next
yet.
question.
Harvey Dent is Two-Face,
Please
right?
keep your questions on topic, people.
Yeah, he's not in Two-Face, and that's
Care about the
40
hospital,
minutes in.
remember?
So they must be doing like full story shit.
Someone drove off after the explosion.
Have you put it together?
Yes. Falcone leaving his rose here. This is a message.
Oh shit! That was the parents' side, or this was the parents' side. Let's look at this one. This is the classic.
Finally arrested your father. I couldn't believe a low-life thug like Joe Chill would have the audacity to rob and kill
Joe
Thomas
Chill.
Wayne.
That's the dude that killed him.
He
Joe
was simply
Chill.
too well known, too big.
This
Yet
would be cool.
there it was.
Wouldn't Chill just run when he recognized him?
Well, it's a fair assumption.
But he didn't.
You always said it was a simple mugging. In 20 years, you've never wavered from that story.
I can recall every moment of that night in vivid detail.
There we go.
Maybe that's wrong.
Sometimes we block out things we don't want to face. He was invincible. Sadly, he was mistaken.
I always wanted to be brave, just like him.
And you are. He would be so proud to see that you took a different path.
I love that movie. I saw it countless times at that theater. How long did it play there?
Only when you wanted to see it, Bruce. Your mother arranged the special screenings personally.
I never knew that. She was always so good to me.
So it's his parents' fault he died.
Yeah.
He said he wanted to see it. If he didn't want to see it, they wouldn't have been there.
Way to help his mental health issues.
Hey, well, you know,
Where
I would
exactly
text
does
him
the
that tomorrow.
memory end?
With my father pleading, "You don't have to do this." And the gun fires.
And after that? There are considerable gaps in that recollection.
Maybe. Do I really want to know?
Bruce, stay back.
Take whatever you want.
Nothing personal, just business. He told me you had it coming. You don't have to do this.
Now, VOLO, have you ever seen the Joker movie that's the prequel to him being the Joker?
The Joker movie?
Yeah, the one where he's just like a stand-up comedian and he really first becomes the Joker.
Yeah, I saw the original that movie, Joker.
The one that just came out, right?
Yeah, I saw that. The one that won an Oscar or whatever.
Okay, so you know how they always had the Bruce Wayne story that the Joker was actually this criminal who shot him, right?
Yeah, but that's the first movie.
I'm going to talk about all this, but
okay.
Can you walk down the street with me here?
Okay.
All right. So the original thing was, I remember when I was a kid, they used to project that the Joker happened to be that thug, and he happened to find him later, and he dropped him into the acid chasing him, right?
Yeah.
That was it. Now, but when I saw this other Joker, because I noticed in all the different variations, they always change who the person is. It's an unknown street thug. It's a specific. It was just a simple robbery. It just went wrong because his dad got spicy on the board. The boy clapped him scared and shit. Remember?
Yeah.
So they always been the same. But then when I saw that Joker movie, and they explained how the Joker was basically this downtrodden dude in a real corrupt city. His dad was running for mayor, Harvey Dent and them. They all were considered dirty motherfuckers that the poor people didn't like. And the people that actually shot him were really just the people inspired by the Joker. And that was just the people on the street that were revolting and raging. And they were just like, yo, we're going to go out and clap with all these rich dudes and whatnot. And that's why this guy right here says, they said you had it coming. And who he means is, the Joker said he had it coming. Because he didn't say Thomas Wayne specifically. He just said like all the rich guys, all the powerful, because that's who he was against, right?
Okay.
And this guy was inspired by the Joker. So the Joker didn't actually send him over there to do it. But on some social media shit, if I spend all day on social media and be like, people like Thomas Wayne and Harvey Dent and VOLO Damnedology, you know what I mean? And then when something pops off where I do some like wild shit, because remember the Joker did some shit that made him like a famous dude. He got arrested. So people supported him and he started wilding out. And then people was like, he's standing up to the man. And then the people on the streets basically took his mentality. And that's actually how Batman, and Batman basically spent his whole life really fighting a guy that technically isn't responsible for the deaths of his father.
I hear you. I just watched what's the Batman Begins and Dark Knight, so that's the Batman I've been on. Like the third one is on next. You know, I'll probably watch that tomorrow or the next day or whatever.
Nice. Hey, this is ice cream stuff that's been outside my fucking window for 45, 30 minutes.
Steak.
Wow. Second one, you know that was on purpose. The pearls every time.
You gotta add the pearls.
I see that the pearls come off the head like 9 different ways.
Bruce, are you all right?
That was fun. Okay, that's cool. Let's go through. Jump forward a little
Access
bit.
to this, but if they do, any action he takes against them.
All right, blah, blah, blah.
Don't get ahead of yourself. I decide when this ends.
Bane?
I don't know. Bane.
You have to face the truth sometime, Batman. You can't protect Gotham from itself. They lit the fire. We're just here to stoke the flame.
It sounds like Bane.
You do a lot of talking. Not sure you can back it up.
Try. Go on. Show me how you'll save your precious city.
That bullshit out here. What? Hey, Batman. So you don't think this is Bane? You think this is some other guy?
Well, Bane is usually, bigger, like, you know what I'm saying? He's usually like 7 feet tall or something like that.
I know, but you know how video games are. I figured they reimagine some shit. Maybe not.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
So short-sighted.
He kicking his ass like he Bane.
I know.
Batman!
Cat bitch. Let's skip before. Let's see. Him and Catwoman win a smash.
Step down.
Bruce going up.
Lady. Right, Bruce? Wait.
Weirdo.
Search for all children.
Why does that Joker look like?
What the hell did you do?
What's his name? That Joker looks like dang, what is his name? William Dafoe.
William Dafoe. Yeah, he did. Let's listen to him, see if he does. Let's see where I'm up past him now. I done lost the nigga now. Oh, there's Two-Face.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is that him right there? Oh no, they ain't Catwoman's house smashing. This guy.
Yeah.
Television. Mayor on a rampage versus freaky drug terrorist.
This isn't a joke. Their war is going to destroy Gotham.
That's what makes it so funny. All those people caught in the middle.
Tragically, there's still no sign of Gotham Gazette reporter Vicky Vale after her mysterious disappearance earlier this week.
Vicky Vale, I thought that sounded like a porno name.
Vicky? I think we both know she's
Like
quite
Vicky Vale does
the
Texas.
lady. Right, Bruce?
Wait, you know that Vicky is... Tell me what you know.
You want to find Vicky and her drugs, huh? Get your revenge just like you got your revenge on Cobblepot? I've been watching you for a while now, Bruce, and I can tell there's something darker in you. When you attacked Oswald, I could tell you enjoyed it. If those cops hadn't dragged you off of him, that Cobblepot...
Okay, he's going in. Joke up here talking shit.
Meet again.
Yeah.
I promise you that. All right, tell you what, I'm gonna make a distraction to get the guards away from that gate. So
you're gonna help him make his escape.
You're in no shape to take on Harvey. We're the children of Arkham.
That will always be true. And I will always owe you one.
Thank God he was finally stopped. Nice work, Batman.
My job's not done yet.
My job's not done yet. I'm Batman.
So these are more story driven than action.
Where the hell is he?
What's that?
These are more story driven than action.
Yeah. The Telltale Jones is full story.
Okay.
Well, it's still action, but I'm skipping a lot.
There's a boot print in the blood.
What it is basically the Telltale game series is pretty much one long cutscene.
Okay.
And you just take control at some point. So all the game looks exactly like the film scene does, right?
Okay.
But eventually at some point, like how Batman is sitting right there, the camera's either going to just stop and it's going to be like instructions like, okay, walk around and find da-da-da. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And you stand up and you go about your business from there. You know what I mean? And then when you get to the next cutscene, it keeps rolling into the next story. But what happens is there's a different way for the story to go each time you do the game. So you can change the story by making different decisions.
Okay. It's a modern day Dragon's Lair or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Lady Arkham's soldiers dragged him.
Just like Dragon's Lair.
The trail stops at the wall.
You need professional help.
Says the man dressed as a bat.
Got a point.
Let him go.
The butler has to die. Payment for Thomas Wayne's sins.
All right, so that was pretty cool to check out. Check out the Batman Telltale series game. That was pretty radical, dude. Excellent. So you got about 15 scheduled minutes left in the show. Anything you want to talk about?
Well, that was dope. I appreciate it. I was wondering what it was about. I know it was on sale for, I see it as for $15 an episode right now, but it might have been half of that, like $7 or $5 on sale. But the one that I want, there's a Batman's Arkham Knight City, it's a trilogy. That's the one that's more of an action, open world game with smaller cutscenes. But the Joker in those cutscenes, I think, is Luke Skywalker. He plays a lot of Joker in a lot of the games and movies and stuff, or the cartoons and stuff.
No, let's see. Let's be nosy. See if they got a short review of that. Might as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Jip. Stop and shit.
And what is Luke's real name again? I forget his real name. Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Sounds like a damn skater. Ice skater. Mark Hamill wins the gold.
But it's a shame what they did to him in the second trilogy of fucking Star Wars, man. That shit, Yeah, well.
I mean, they just had him kind of in and out because the whole point was really the whole torch hand off to the bitch. She's the new Luke, nigga. And everybody's a Jedi. You don't even got to train no more, my nigga. You just got to figure that shit out.
Who's the noodle of the week? I ain't see Monday. Monday
noodle of the week. I don't know what that shit was, my nigga.
Y'all ain't even rap about it, huh?
Oh, you know who Noodle of the Week was? What did I pick? It was something weird too. Now I gotta look.
I get you a different. We gotta write out. We gotta take notes now. I gotta make sure I can put my notes up.
I picked Jeannie Mai and Young Jeezy for Noodle of the Week.
Okay.
Yeah, and then my and then the Philly bio was the Philly Riot people.
Whatever that chick name is. I'm seeing her picture, her mugshot all over the place now.
Who? Ebony K. Williams?
Is that her name?
Light skin?
No, dark skin chick. The one that got arrested. Got arrested.
So what, every black woman? What the fuck?
Yeah, the one that got arrested for doing all the videotaping or whatever. That
What videotaping?
I don't even know if we're on the same page.
Spaghetti or meatball, or whatever they call her ass.
Yeah, that chick.
Man.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
And I'm gonna quote Mr. BAS right here. Fuck that bitch, yo. That bitch ain't shit, yo. That bitch ain't shit, yo.
Bird.
Yo, by the way, big bitches be winning. You know what I'm saying? So let's check out this Batroom, and I guess this is Arkham Knight. Ooh, IGN did a review of it. So is this older too? This Arkham Knight one too?
Yeah. Okay. There's 3 of them. It's a trilogy. So they made it one game, or the 3 trilogy or whatever. Arkham.
Let me look for the trilogy. Let me see. I just did Arkham. I know this. There's a trilogy.
Yeah, it's coming out soon for the Switch. I know it's on the Switch. I don't know if it's on other systems. Right, it might be on other systems already.
Okay, here it is. I think the Arkham Collection. Here, I think it's called the Arkham Collection. It looks like Fun Dad Gaming. So it looks like this guy is a dad like you. And this page is called Fun Dad Gaming. So look, both of you got some guys to play with.
Hey,
buds out there. He probably also understands the bitches ain't shit. That's what's important. I'm just quoting Mr. BAS allegedly. The opinions of Mr. C and Mr. BAS are not the opinions of the channel of Skip Bags, Crazy Cat Poop, Crazy Carl, or Mr. C the channel, even though 2 of said 3 channels is me, but my opinions do not reflect the opinions of said channel. Allegedly. You gotta say that stuff so nobody can see it. Oh yeah, let me share this. And let's make sure you guys do check out Fun Dad Gaming, because I obviously reviewed this, see a bunch of other totally radical reviews of other stuff. And let's eyeball his review. I always hate the intro, so I'm gonna skip right to game time and let's jump it off.
So the Batman Arkham Collection comes with 3 games: Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. And all 3 games are instant classics that you can replay over and over again. Arkham Asylum gives you an introduction to the Batman gameplay and a brief story that you can follow with iconic villains such as Killer Croc and so on and so forth. Then you have the Arkham City, which expands on that, and then Arkham Knight takes it even a step further. You get to travel in all 3 games as your favorite Cape Crusader Batman. Now the gameplay is so easy. You get to glide through the city, zip line, and the combat is too easy to follow, man. It's too easy, especially with being able to do things like this, glide and kick, the stealth attacks.
This is the game, right?
Yeah.
All these games feel like you're walking right into a Batman movie.
I might have walked the game, dog.
Giving them these hands.
I think I might have got this shit. If it's on PS4, I might got this shit over here.
Oh, we can move to that.
Like,
and the graphics are off the chain, man. In all 3 games, they are off the chain. The story is in depth, and it looks great, man. Look at this. Look how great it is. You get to use a number of Batman's classic gadgets, and you get to upgrade him throughout the game. And like I said before, all the games definitely have a Batman movie feel. And the silent takedowns are awesome, man. Awesome.
Oh, yeah. When I was searching this, I did also see a 3 or 4 hour movie version of this series too. If you do want to watch it on your own.
Yeah.
Let's finish up this review. Cool review, great review.
And even with all of the games, it doesn't feel too easy. It's not too hard. It has the right mix of challenge and intrigue. The games in general are just off the hook. Just period, point blank. So in general, in my opinion, yes, the Arkham Collection is worth it. Yes, it's worth your time. It is definitely worth your grind. And it's definitely worth your effort. Especially with Gotham Knights about to drop soon. If you want to get your Batman feel in and get prepped for that game, then playing the Arkham Collection is the way to go. So yes, get it. Yes.
Dog, I just bought this Mad Max game.
Yeah, you were telling me last week.
Basically, it's like this right here. Like how you get into the fight scenes. You might be doing a fight scene on your own, but when you throw the last punch or like a big punch, it does that slow motion shit. Like you be fighting niggas doing your little shit, blocking shit, doing your shit, doing the fight. So it's like
Yeah. What's dope about these? Well, the first two I have on PS3. You can actually stealth all of them like Metal Gear Solid. Like you can kill everybody without, you know what I mean? So that it's like the one dude in the room by himself. Like, where happened to everybody? And shit, type shit.
Yeah. That's the beauty of the games. You can do them multiple ways, you know?
Yeah.
Grind it and get your Batman on. Ooh, he shot me. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was helpful in some way, shape, or form. And if it was, man, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button.
It's interesting. You notice in this story, he saves her, but I thought in the other story she saved him. I don't know.
Continue to help us grow.
What?
Also, do me a huge.
Dude sound like a brother too.
On the Batman series.
Yeah, dude sound like a brother. That was pretty. You know, I might have to search him.
Yeah, Fun Dad Gaming. He sounds like he's on your swag. Y'all probably be homies and shit. Any other commentary for the show?
We went from A to Z. I'm trying to figure out where we at last, but we got it going on.
Okay.
Hold on, are we doing Charles Drew now or?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So that's what we're doing. Moving on to our Tech Lord of the Week, because all STEM is considered, and medical is in it too. And one of our Tech Lords of the Week is going to be Charles Richard Drew. To see if any bio videos out there on my guy. CBS did one. Let me see if anybody's got a better one. Oh wow! My video showed up. Ooh, I like this one. This one's a 17-minute one. It's like these guys won't care if we actually play it. And it means I don't have to read his Wikipedia because this is a 17-minuter. So I'm going to just stop it every once in a while to mention stuff, but we're going to go through this video. Let me bring up these guys. And it's called Educational Film. Matter of fact, let me follow this. I like this thing. Pause this right quick. I'm going to play the little bit of the music, but I'm going to turn it down a little more in case it's intruding on any volume. Take it all the way down to 5, but keep some light music going. Theme of the show. And let's get this up here. Any commentary on Mr. Drew as I proceed?
It's been a while since I studied, so refresher course. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I do know a little bit about the plasma and his contributions, but I'll let the video show.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I did a book report on him, like in the 8th grade and whatnot. It was like my every year you gotta do like a book report or some shit on somebody. Like Black History Month, every Black History Month, they're like, all right, pick a nigga out and do some shit. I'm like, I'm doing Charles Richard Drew. I'm doing St. Francis of Assisi, motherfucker. Yeah, who the fuck is that? I was like, he's the only nigga that ever got called a saint before they shot his ass. That's who the fuck he is. Mind your business. St. Francis of Assisi. Shout out to my nigga.
We're reading your old encyclopedias. I have most of your collection of science and stuff. So
yes. I would tell people that's my favorite thing to read. I don't like books. I like encyclopedias. I'll read an encyclopedia. I can sit if you put me in prison in the hole for 15 years, just give me a collection of encyclopedias. I'm good. I'd read them. I learned them all back to back, and then write my new Bible. I'm like, wait, it's been 10 years. I need 2 more. They're like, but you free. I need 2 more. Go ahead.
Nothing. I'm listening. You bug out. The first letter was the brain. We was reading about the brain on the one book.
Nice. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Dude, I'm telling you, I love those books. I miss them. I was a little upset. I was like, you gave away. I was like, but those are the greatest. Oh, he said you gave to such and such for the kids. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Because moms is crazy. You be like, Mom, I had $9,000 in gold coins 2 years ago. It's probably worth $400 million. She's like, oh, them old gold coins. I thought they weren't worth nothing, so I just threw them away. Like, I don't want you to die, but I might have to kill you.
Mine is the comic books. I had the Secret Wars and Infinity, not the Gauntlet. Yeah, one of the series. I had the Infinity, the 3rd series in it.
Yeah.
And mint condition in a box and on them balling. They gone.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if my mom threw away or gave away on my I used to buy Hot Wheels cars. I'm 48, and I have cars that I bought when I was goddamn 10 years old, and some of them still in good condition. Yeah, they're probably not worth, but each car is probably worth $2-3 and whatnot. Does she keep them? I don't know. I got baseball cards, basketball cards. I had a Jordan rookie card in there somewhere.
Wow.
Okay. I got a bunch of great players, rookie cards and shit. Because I've been getting them since the late 80s, early 90s when they started making those Skybox cards and NBA Hoops cards. And then I started just buying those every day. I didn't care what sport, hockey, baseball, football, whatever. And all them, oh man. And I have some of them, but you know how moms are. Well, I don't think those is worth nothing. She said, CJ, she told me one story one time. She said, you used to have about $70 in 50-cent pieces. And one day, I just wanted to go to the store, and I figured, you don't need those daggone things. So I just spent them all. I was like, it's not a good thing for a child to have multiple reasons to want to choke out a parent. Like, the Menendez brothers only had one. I don't need 7. Okay? Every time I turn one, I didn't. Fine. Your great-grandchildren will starve because of this. That's all I'm saying. Because 200 years from now, that stuff is worth a lot. Anyway. All right, let's get into Charles Richard Drew. Great man. Does not have...
Number one, me, no you. What you be and VGC. Number one, me, that you not me, that you chocolate. Me, that you couldn't do. Number one, me, that you not me, that you chocolate. Me, that you couldn't do. Number one, me, that you not me, that you chocolate.
For Charles Drew, a black kid born in the America of 1904, there were 1,000 hurdles to scale. It was a time when slavery was only as far back as your father or grandfather. Americans who were black were daily cheated of the equal opportunities promised by the Constitution. Even their right to vote was subject to the veto of white sheriffs. The guns of racist power and the torches of the Ku Klux Klan continued to chain Negroes to lives of poverty and powerlessness. For tens of thousands of Negroes, the journey to a deceptive freedom had begun at the close of the Civil War. Instead of freedom, they found a cruel invention called Jim Crow. They were separated from their white fellow citizens from birth to death in schools, hospitals, and churches. For the black American, hurdles of inferior schools and outdated books had to be painfully cleared. Schools could be kept separate and segregated, provided they were separate but equal. As Charlie Drew scrambled over the barricades, he knew full well that separate but equal meant separate but unequal. Most black Americans were reminded every day of their lives that they were regarded by white society.
VOLO, do kids still play leapfrog?
Nah.
Hey, Brian Kill was about to say, "You landed on my neck, Steve." Phil, I can't jump. I've been sitting in the couch playing video games for 6 years. All right, back to it.
As second class. But Charlie Drew dreamed long thoughts. Even as his boy's body began to stretch and thicken into the frame of a fine athlete, he began to measure the hurdles that he would have to leap if he were to try to become a doctor. For Charlie, athletics were both a great challenge and a great opportunity to compete and to excel. When he graduated, his grades were good enough to win him acceptance at Amherst College in Massachusetts. Amherst still recalls Drew's great career that he carved out in the 4 years before his graduation in 1926. When Amherst awarded its Mossman Trophy at graduation to that student who had brought most honor to the school, it went to this black student who didn't know what second best meant. A winner of letters in 5 sports, an All-American mention in football, and an excellent scholar, Charlie Drew sighted down the track toward his final hurdle.
VOLO, do you think they liked him because he was in the octagon?
You know, we talking about colorism now?
I don't know. I just wanted to investigate the deep thoughts of, because they said he was a black man. This is back in what, the 20s or 40s, and he went to Amherst College, which ain't no black school. So that means 90% of schools probably white. You know what I mean? So I guess this was at the time where maybe, you know, some people got into schools and it was like, well, look, you light enough, we'll let you roll, kind of thing, you know?
Medical.
Or they said, we'll give you a chance. You know what I mean? Still probably fucked with him, but.
In 1926, most black Americans did not dare dream of professional school. Racial quotas and inferior black schools built walls that hemmed them in. Even Charlie's schoolteacher mother, wishing to spare her son disappointment, had cautioned him, "Charlie, don't dream too high." But Drew was a hurdler who considered hurdles a challenge, and now he used his athletic ability to make possible the medical career he was determined to have. He chose McGill University at Montreal, Canada, a school known for its excellent medical education and its reputation for fairness to black students. This black American medical student seemed the embodiment of the Greek ideal, the joining of physical prowess with intellectual accomplishment. Drew excelled in learning even as he prevailed on the McGill playing field. It was at McGill that Drew's interest in the study of blood was awakened. That mysterious fluid that nourished life had 1,000 secrets. But all men, he learned, shared a common blood. No man's skin was in any way related to the wondrous liquid that flowed steadily from every heart. At Montreal General Hospital, as an intern, Charles was often called upon to give blood transfusions. Too often, he witnessed the tragic results in the crude techniques used in moving blood from one human being to another. Lives slipped away as frantic doctors raced the clock, testing the blood of the patient, typing his blood, finding a donor whose blood could match that type, examining blood samples under the microscope. Time was the thief that killed.
Stop complaining. Stop being a woman.
Drew determined that ways must be found to save those lives through stored blood. and the years of his residency were spent trying to unwind that secret. In 1936, pure research for a black doctor was unheard of. Sadly, he left Canada and research, returning to Washington as a teacher of pathology at Howard University. As Drew began to teach and serve as resident surgeon at Friedman's Hospital, the streets of Europe began to tremble. The whole world seemed poised at the edge of a pit. Charles Drew knew that if the world were to stumble into global war, millions of lives...
Now, being that he did what he did through the late 20s, which they say that was the time when they were doing the Reformation, where black people were actually kind of left alone to build. But as you know, that World War time came up, that's right around some of those bloody summer times and a lot of the Wall Street times, you know, when shit got fucked up. Do you think,
No, I'm listening.
So do you think, like, the fact that he did this previously, do you think it was the fact that he came up right during the Reformation kind of gave him the space to do what he wanted? With that guy that, you know, he did the thing in the 20s, you know, the great, you know, the white guy everybody loves, Eisenhower or Truman or one of them bitch niggas. But people loved them. They created the middle class. But then the war was what really set up the middle class. So everybody came back to the war. They hooked everybody up with the GI Bill. But then here comes Vietnam, and everybody was on heroin.
Yeah, I'm trying to get there. I'm you know me, my, you know, I'm coordinating my historical studies with the boys. So I've been on my 60s tip. As far as the, you know, early 1900s, I'm getting there. I'm starting to get there.
Well, basically, they pull the same place. So David Carroll, you don't know the play? They run in the tall sweep. It's always a tall sweep. They may give it to the fullback one time, maybe the running back, maybe the wide receiver, maybe a lineman. But you know what the play gonna be, Bolo? What's it gonna be?
The same sweep.
A tall sweep, right? So they've been running this tall sweep since the olden days of what is called the Crusades. You get what I'm saying? And the tall sweep is, once the people start to figure out they're robbing us, we're going to give them this fake enemy to hate so we can trick them into robbing us further. And then we'll just, once they really figure it out, we'll just blow the country up and leave and go somewhere else. And they do this every several hundred years, right? That's your Persian Empire, your Roman Empire, all these guys. That's what it's always been about, right? And right now, America's in that risk where we are now so big, so powerful, so spread out, so far, spending so much money somewhere else. You can see on the streets on a daily basis the inner decay we are suffering because we're spending too much abroad and not enough home. That sound sensible?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying it too.
All right, so to give you some perspective on the 60s, basically, the 1800s is when they ended slavery, right? So pretty much from 1890 to like 1918, people were doing good. But then the rich guys got mad. And what happened in 1920?
Yeah, they start burning down the cities.
No, what happened was the crash came. J.P. Morgan and all of them did not want the hemp fuel makers and the people that wanted hemp and biofuels to be made to compete with gas, and they didn't want it to be legal, so they wanted to make weed and all that. So they made that weed scare shit. They paid all the train companies, all these companies and newspapers to put everybody scared. Then what they did is, since J.P. Morgan and them owned all the loans at all the bank, you can do something called a margin call. And that's when you own a loan that you give in the bank, but you want your fucking money back. So JP Morgan and all his rich friends say, yo, we want all our $40 billion back today. And the bank's like, yo, what are y'all all doing this at the same time for? And it was called a bank run. And that's when regular people find out that the banks are getting all the money taken by the rich guys, and all the regular people go to get their $100. So they take it out. Now the banks are broke. And then there's this whole crash of the system, and that's why they don't want to let banks close, right? So they did that. So that was the tall sweep right there.
Okay.
Then right behind that, we have that era after the crash where people were killing themselves and people were shitty, right? And guess whose parents were coming up during that era? Charles Richard Drew's parents came up during that crash era. So they're scared of trying anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
We tried. We saved money. We lost it in the crash. We tried to work hard. They kept, you know what I mean? Even once we built up, they used to crash and burn down our cities, right? So don't do it, Charles. I'm going to keep you alive, right?
Uh-huh.
So then he comes up between 1920-ish and 1940 when the Second World War is about to start with Germany. That is 20 plus years. You know what I mean? That's like 23. What is it? What is it? 40, 45, 43? 42, 43, 41? I think it jumped off. So that was 21 years. So if he was just born, because remember, he went to college, and then right after college, he worked for a couple years, and then he was like in his mid-20s, it sounds like, here comes the war. So he probably was literally a baby during the crash, like just was born. They probably just had him and thought shit was about to be good. Like, yeah, he just had a baby. It's lit. They're like, what you mean? Why everybody going to the bank? Oh, shit. We got to eat potatoes and radishes for the next 5 years, right? So he came out of that. So he wanted more. You know what I mean? He wanted more because he saw the hardest of the hard. And he's like, no, the reason we got screwed last time is because we didn't do it big enough, fast enough. Because you know what Charles Richard Drew knows, VOLO? They're going to run this fucking play on us again. And if we don't move forward fast enough and we wait too long, by the time we finally get going, what's going to happen? Because what happened the minute he got out of college, VOLO?
They crashed it.
World War II started happening when he got out of college, which is the part we're at right now. So here we go again, VOLO. 20 years went by. Niggas is finally recovering from the crash. They finally starting to get their feet wet. Niggas is becoming doctors and shit out this bitch, nigga. Right? And then all of a sudden, toss play to the tight end. And the toss play to the tight end, his name is something Himmel Hitler, or whatever the fuck his name is. I don't know.
Is would be lost for want of blood.
This is twice
The frustrating riddle of successful blood storage on a mass scale was still unsolved. In 1938, the opportunity to seek those answers was given to the eager young surgeon, a 2-year fellowship at Columbia for research and surgery at Presbyterian Hospital. Under the guidance of Dr. John Scudder, Drew launched the greatest program of systematic research into blood and medical history. Drew fought to solve the riddle of stored blood. Painstakingly, the data accumulated. The experimental animals were transfused. The agonizing months of observation inched by. Drew presented to Dr. Scudder a revolutionary proposal. For the first time, surgeons and scientists could combine their talents and run an experimental blood bank for human patients.
Ooh.
Scudder was to be advisor of the...
I forgot my final point, but remember how I was supposed to relate this to when you were talking about you studied the 60s?
Yeah, and I'm over here laughing because I thought you were gonna go Tulsa with your breakdown, but
Nah, Tulsa and all that was happening during that 20s, 30s, 40s era.
Yeah.
So you got Rosewood, Tulsa. This stuff was happening in between years, and then we had a really bad summer once the 60s came, right?
Okay, yeah.
But check it. We let us out of slavery late 1800s, basically 1900. Then 20 years later, after we recover, we have the crash. We recover from the crash. Then 20 years later, they go into World War III. We recover from World War II in the early 40s. What happened? What year was it? Around 20 years after World War II in 1943, 44?
60s.
Here we are. And what happened in the 60s, VOLO? Civil rights, women's lib in Vietnam. Again, what play are they running, VOLO?
Sweep right to the tight end.
Toss play. See, VOLO, they scored one. You already done forgot the play. I done told you. It's only one play, VOLO. Don't matter who it goes to. See, you got all confused by the right and the left and who it is. See, you fucking up. There is no other play but the toss sweep. Don't matter if it's going left or right. Don't matter. All we got to wait is which direction they're going and wait for the toss. You get what I mean? This is the point I'm trying to make. See, you got distracted, right?
Yeah, I'm a little confused because that first Eagles
Because you know why? The tight end was women's lib. The right, that was Vietnam. You get what I'm saying? The third option, when you said something about the lineman pulling, that was called civil rights. You get what I mean? You got distracted about all those things, but the real trick was toss sweep.
That first Eagles Super Bowl with Donovan, it was the screen to the running back.
Yeah. So the toss sweep. It was not. And it's the same thing. Vietnam was the next toss sweep, and they do it every 20 years. Then what happened in 20 years after the 60s, the late 80s, 90s? The Desert Storm War. Are we picking up the fucking pattern? Anyway, 2020, now we're doing what? Toss sweep left, Ukraine. Where government's about to break down, people homeless in the street with milk, people need their car stuff. Nah, but I got $100 million for Ukraine. Toss sweep left. Toss sweep right. Toss sweep. Toss sweep. Now we worried about the flaggers. That toss sweep right to the flaggers off the hitch by the immigrants off the hitch by the immigrants based off the backside of the Republican debate. What? Trump getting indicted. That's the play. No. That ain't the play. The play is toss sweep. Don't worry about all that other stuff, y'all. I'm telling you. Like clockwork, that I just cited 100 years of 4 to 5 instances of the toss sweep. And if you're a nerd and you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. Which means vote independent. Currently for president, by the way, run as independent. I'm gonna run until I die. I will live to 250 years old. So once I'm the oldest man on the planet, if you don't vote for me, then I'll just simply kill you all, because by then I'll be a superhuman. So that's that. No threats, just allegedly. I would never kill the entire planet unless I had enough power. Allegedly. Superman cape. Anyway, let's finish up Charles Drew, because I'm cutting the hell up.
Laboratory experiments, and the young black surgeon from Howard was made medical director of the entire project. The blood bank that was established set the pattern for all subsequent blood banks. A patient received the loan of blood and was responsible to repay the loan, 2 pints for every one received. The team worked around the clock, recording, testing, and evaluating safety measures and storage techniques. By mid-1939, the last peaceful summer before World War II, Drew's team had performed 100 transfusions without a fatality due to aged blood or incompatibility. Though death was being treated, transfusions continued to cause violent reactions in the patients. To find the key to unlock their pain, Drew began an exploration into the mysterious world of plasma. To understand that journey, one must examine a single drop of blood. It is composed of 4 main elements.
Drop of blood.
White cells, which can fight bacteria. Red cells that carry oxygen from the lungs. Platelets that assist in clotting the blood. And plasma, the fluid that suspends the blood cells. It was this fluid that Drew began to chart. For the first time, controlled experiments were begun to find out how effective transfusions of plasma alone might be. Plasma contained every substance of whole blood except cells. Drew wondered if finally he had found the key. By summer's end, Drew and Scudder were driving their team toward absolute, truthful answers.
VOLO, butthead question. Can you be a real scientist without owning a centrifuge?
Without owning a centrifuge?
Yes.
Let's say you got to separate the chemicals sometimes.
Yeah, I just know you do cool shit with it. And like, if you're a scientist, you have to have one.
Yeah.
Exactly. There
Microscope
we go.
too, like.
And a spectrometer, whatever that does.
Okay.
It was one of the reasons I know what the name is.
On September 1st, 1939, bombs from German planes began to rain death upon the people of Poland. Total war exploded across Europe. A whole continent seemed to be bleeding. In New York City, half a world away, Charles Drew established a method to save the wounded. Plasma could save. He had proved it. Proved that plasma could be stored without refrigeration. Proved that plasma could be transfused immediately without the terrible loss of time for sampling and matching. Proved that in cases of shock, burns, and hemorrhages, red cells were not the part of the blood most necessary for recovery. At that critical moment, when blood was engulfing Europe, a black American surgeon had unlocked the door that was to mean life for millions. It was not until the Nazi Air Force hurled itself at the homes and factories of England that Drew's plasma began its mission of mercy. Blood for Britain was launched, and Charles Drew was appointed overall director of the program, demanding the most strict regulations for the preparation of the precious plasma. He had his first shipment flown to Britain in October 1940. By February 1941, Britain had adopted Drew's techniques and started its own successful blood bank program. As England held her ground, American factories raced to tool up, to build the planes, the guns, and the ships necessary to defend both England and America. In the titanic struggle for survival that seemed imminent, America would need blood as well as steel.
So question, Bo, because you know how we always think back to like times back in the day, like, oh man, you know, the Republican guys got your MAGA, Make America Great thing. People that are more conservative, I remember when people made money, it was easier to buy things. America was more friendly, more neighborly, right?
Mm.
But seeing a lot of these wars and stuff people got in the olden days, even though you miss those days, would you rather be back then living in like the 1800s, early 20s, 40s, that time, and 50s? Or do you feel lucky to be in a segment you're in now?
I love the segment I'm in right now.
Yeah, but if you were like, you know, Thanos and you could snap your fingers tomorrow, would you just be like, I'm good, or maybe the future? Or would you say, damn, I'd really like to go back and start my life 1,000 years ago? You know, shit like that.
Nah, I'm good. I love this era we're in.
All right. The same here, same here. I feel lucky because I'm gonna tell you, I'd end up dying in this bitch. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I end up dying in this bitch, or coming back fucked up, or coming back crazy, or and go through Vietnam and all that shit. Man, war now? It's like, yeah, go ahead, drone bust them niggas. All right, do your thing. How much money you need? How much money you need? What? Robots? Go ahead. AI? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It'll save human life, right? Now, I don't gotta go, right? Okay, cool. I like it. How much money you need? But we got to use the money for schools and feeding the children and education and you know, fixing America. I mean, fuck that. I'm not going to war. Shit. Allegedly.
Where is Tony Stark?
Well, I got my Superman cape on, but it don't work so good.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not it look bulletproof, but it is not bulletproof. This is just great Chinese manufacturing. That might explain why America's in trouble, by the way. It's like, damn, why the cape got to come from 8,000 miles away? Why couldn't it come from down South LA? Probably did come from South LA through China, you know, on these niggas. But anyway, back to it. We got 5 more minutes left, and then we're going to close the show out.
1 million pints of blood plasma had to be collected and prepared. At the age of 37, Drew was named medical director of the greatest blood program in history. Teams of technicians had to be recruited and trained.
Human body's amazing.
Blood banks spanning the continent had to be built and staffed. Exacting standards had to be established and enforced. Drew struggled to give the program birth, racing the moment when war would come to America.
Put it in there. I'm like,
Japanese bombs shattered the peace of a Pearl Harbor Sunday. Of every 100 wounded men who were given plasma transfusions, 96 recovered. As a scientist, Drew knew that the master race theory of the Germans was utter nonsense. Hitler could boast of pure Aryan blood being superior to all others, but Drew knew from the test tubes that it was a lie. It was all chemically the same. Drew found that the American Red Cross, eager to find donors for the 1 million pints of blood necessary, allowed Jim Crow to move firmly into the collection centers. Orders from both the Army and the Navy demanded that the blood of Caucasians and Negroes be separated.
You see this? You see that?
Black soldiers.
Did you see that, Volo?
No, I missed it.
Yo, they had the white boy walk in. He's like, yo, what's happening? She's like, yo, no problem. Then the brother walked in. She's like, I can't do it, nigga. All right, you watch this shit again, man. This shit is crazy. I don't know if this is old or reenactment, but peep this shit out. You see the screen?
Yeah.
Eager to find donors for the 1 million pints of blood necessary, allowed Jim Crow to move firmly into the collection centers.
Oh no, that blood bank sign.
Orders from both the Army and the Navy demanded that the blood of Caucasians and Negroes be separated. Black soldiers, sailors, and airmen were fighting and dying on every battlefield to save American democracy. But black men's blood was being segregated in the American blood program. Black donors who were eager to aid the life-saving program were being discouraged by the collection centers from volunteering or were being rudely rejected. Drew was furious. He summoned the press and issued a statement that made clear his disdain for the blood segregation order. As medical director of the National Blood Program, I have been asked my opinion of the practice of separating the blood of Caucasian and Negro donors. My opinion is not important. The fact is that test by race does not stand up in the laboratory. In 1941, America was not yet ready to examine its own racism. When the United States Army took over the...
You know what frustrates me, dog?
What's that?
With all this science and knowledge improved via scientific research, not only do you have this, you have genetic research, which is now proven that 0.01% determines all skin, hair, and everything. All humans are 99.9% the same. Yet there's still racism.
Yeah.
Humans are fucked up, man. And that's not a legend.
Yeah.
Are you bitches to that shit?
We'll rap about that later.
I'm just traumatized. I just got a little sad thinking about it. Like, damn, all this shit, even after all that back in Orange, still, even after they went out and cleared it up, still to this day, 2023, we worried about a Puerto Rican getting shot up for no reason. Over this.
The blood bank program, a month after Drew's press conference, he was released from the program.
Sad.
Drew returned to Howard University to resume his teaching. There can never be a way of numbering the men, women, and children whose lives have been spared because this black hurdler had scaled the racial wall in America. Every 6 seconds.
Here we go again. Guess what play they starting on? They're just walking out on the field right here. They're just walking out on the field. Coaches yelling it to them. They giving them the signals. They're like, all right, this is the play we're going to run. So right now they just huddling up. You see the white people huddling up? They're just huddling up right now. What play they about to run, Volo? It's all sweet.
You sure you didn't dive up the middle?
Don't matter. It's all sweet. Alone, a pint of blood is used in transfusion. Greatest was the contribution that Drew made in the field of blood plasma. His unsung work as a teacher of surgery at Howard University may be just as great a legacy to us all.
I wonder how many doctors are still alive today that actually learned under Charles Woodruff. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be a nice documentary to do.
Drew's dedication inspired a generation of black doctors who studied under him to drive towards excellence and lives of public service. In April of 1950, while driving to a medical conference at Tuskegee, Alabama, Drew's car overturned in an accident near Burlington, North Carolina. Bleeding severely, he was rushed to the nearest hospital.
You know, that sounds like some we ran a nigga off the road shit, right? 1950. What kind of driving are you doing out in the middle of Tuskegee that turns over the whip?
And I'm tripping because that's the Ghost Rider, the Ghost Ghostbusters car.
Hey man, the niggas was fly back in the day. That shit had the bat wings. That shit was hard.
Hospital, which was white and segregated. Even plasma could not save him. At age 46, Charles Drew was dead.
Yeah, damn, I'm older.
It is ironic to note that Drew died only months before the Red Cross dropped the last traces of its segregated blood program. One will never know what other wonders this remarkable American might have given us in the battle against disease. He had run so hard, overcome so much, so fast. But one wishes that he had been spared enough time so that he could have seen the country he loved begin to move at last from the nightmare of superstition and racism that had cheated her of so many gifts from all her black children.
No, you. What you mean? Number one, who means that she's not me? That's exactly who means that she's couldn't. Number two means that she's not me. That's exactly.
Yeah, check out 16 Million Education. I like how they had little stock videos and stuff. Like even still back then, they still had like all the little stock videos in there, like this random black man running. Like, ain't he a little dark to be simulating Charles Drew running? Was it me? They're like, ah, he's dark enough. They look the same. They're all that color. Anyway, final words on Charles Richard Drew, our Tech Lord of the Week and Savior of America, proving that all blood is the same, no matter straight or gay or black or white. All blood is based in plasma, and we are one. What are your words on that?
Great choice, man. That was good. I'm taking my notes. I'm gonna put all the names on the list and take notes, and we have to recap as we keep doing these things. And that was a great choice, man. Like good work.
Yeah, that's my guy. I was thinking about. I was like, who's a badass? Charles Richard Drew. I haven't said that man's name out loud in 20 years, and I still remembered it. That's how I know. I didn't call him doctor. That's my man.
And shout out to the documentary maker. That was dope. Man.
Yeah. 16 Million Films did their thing right there. That was nice. And it kept it real, too. It sounded like it wasn't even a brother. It sounded like it was one of our Caucasoid cousins.
Yeah.
So he kept it real. He's like, yeah, white guilt. Anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, I think we covered it a lot, and I taking mental notes and I translate it over. You mentioned that Sweet Right play, and that's
sweet.
Yeah, I think that's Sukiyana. So I think I'm gonna finally do my video and shit, breaking that down.
Like 5 in a row, man. Every 20 years like clockwork.
But I don't use the B word. Like I know that's the letter that they, that's really the most destructive out of all of the letters of the alphabet crew is that letter B. That's why I capitalize it now when I write it out. And of course that does give me 30 days suspension from all social media.
As I always totally support your suspensions, as I tell you, I keep forgetting, but I'm definitely blocking you after this show. I've been trying to for months now, but there's blockage coming. That's right. You get them, Meta. You get them. I approve Meta's blocking. Call for president. Oh, wait a minute. Yo, you know what pissed me off? They will not let me advertise any of my presidential stuff.
Who won't?
Any platform, doesn't matter. I can offer them $100. They're like, nah. YouTube, no. Facebook, no. They're like, oh, well, you're not approved. Then I go to fill out their approval, and they're like, oh, well, even though you did everything we said, yeah, I don't know. Like, fuck is this? And it's like, it's to the point where really the only way I can be promoted is by other people. Like, one time they fucked up back in the day, and they let me promote one of my presidential things through, like, my Carl Anthony page. So they thought I was like a random person. So it's okay. But since it's me, I can't promote my own shit. Even if I'm going to pay for
it. Yeah. Wow. It kind of explains how I be looking at my statistics and I'm like, oh, let me do what I need to do help booster up my pages and stuff, looking at the statistics, it do seem like, no, in order to really promote your shit, you gotta, payola. You gotta pay that shit up.
You gotta pay. Yep. It's like if you do want to have like your own thoughts, but it's still promotable, you gotta pay for it and whatnot. But if you wanna, you can just the trick is, all right, so I'm gonna teach everybody the trick to social media. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put that on screen so this can be a clear segment. We're gonna close the show with a tip on tricks to social media that I don't do because I like trying to make a point and be all Malcolm X-y. But if you don't give a damn about what you put out, I'm about to give you tips on how to be successful on social media. One moment, because I want to put this on the screen too. Here we go. We got this. Oh, wrong one. All right. Social media tips for success. Tuck your morals and win. All right. So I picked this particular phrase: social media tips for success, tuck your morals and win. And let me explain. So basically, what I've learned about social media that I don't do, because like I said, I got my own topics. I'm trying to be like special. But if you don't give a fuck about that and you want instant attention, so on every app, they have like basically an analytics session, things like that. And you don't really got to look at the people, especially if you don't have follows. You do not have personal analytics. So your individual ones are of no concern to you, really. Fuck your ones. What you want to look for is there's going to be a section that says trending. And this is on YouTube, Meta, Twitter. This is on every app. And there's going to be trend. They will even, once you post a lot, you even start getting messages from the actual app telling you shit to do. And these are the two things. So the first thing is find that trending section on any of them. Then you just go to the list and you just type in anything you want. You're like, let's say your focus is healthcare, right? So just type in healthcare. They're going to show you the top 8 trending topics in healthcare. That means on social media right now, if you make a post about that and it's clean enough, they're going to put it in with everybody else first because it's trending. But you got to do it that day. You can't wait till tomorrow. Maybe if it's trending tomorrow, then you're lucky. But every day you check, and whatever video you're putting up that day or making, you got to make it for that trending video. If which trending is the water dance or the water challenge under healthcare, then you got to do that. Now you can do yoga. You can still have a focus of your own, where you can just say sports or basketball. But what you got to do is you can't talk about what you want to talk about that day. You have to talk about whatever is in these topics and pick whatever one you like the most. And that's what you do your stuff around. So that's number 1. Also, number 2, original music. Music you own, whether you make it, have somebody else make it or not. This way you can always be paid for everything you do. Also, if you can keep the foul language down, the cursing, the hard words, name calling, things like that. Make up cute words. Like I like to say J Bros with J Froze because they got cute curly hair. You know, that's nice. You don't get in trouble for that. So you have to think about these kind of terms as you go out. So trending. The second thing we talked about is as you start to do more stuff, they're going to start sending you DMs from Twitter, from whatever, X or whatever it's called, from Twitch. And they're going to say, hey, this is trending right now. Why don't you do this? Or from Snapchat. Hey, why don't you do this lens? Hey, why don't you do this Christmas thing? Hey, why don't you do this little Halloween bear? Hey, why don't you go out and find somebody that's homeless? Hey, why don't you do this? And you look, and basically, you pick whatever, and any of that stuff that comes in, if you really want to be successful, do those every time they come up. Even if it's a little quick, crappy one. But do it. Still put some effort into it, but do that every time. Now, like I said, you got to abandon your morals on this. This is if you're not the kind of person that's like, oh, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to just do what everybody else is doing. But if you want to be successful on social media easily, this is how you do it. You got to do what everybody else is doing, whatever's trending and popular amongst other humans, right? So those are the tips for that as far as how you can be successful on social media. So here's tip, I don't know if this is tip number 3. You have to be able to make continual type of series. Either something you can do every day or every other day to fill in. Because there's going to be times when something trending isn't there for you to fill in your daily posting gap. Maybe you post once or twice a day. 3 or 4 times a day. Try to do shorts also. I'll talk about that in a second. But as far as you're trying to, in between those topics, you want to have something that is repeatable. So some people will do a joke of the day if they're a comedian. So anytime they'll either do it every day or they'll do it in their gaps, but they'll have that. Or VOLO may have one of his blog videos or something like that. He'll have something he'll post in between doing the trendy stuff. So they'll still have like your own thing going, which the hope is that series that you make, how to make sandwiches, how to cook, how to travel, whatever your stuff is in between, it's like your real personal stuff. Eventually that will build an audience through all of your trending topics, bringing faces to the page. And then eventually some of them will pick up on the stuff that's really you. And you want to make these kind of series, but always think in multiple opportunities. Don't think, I can make this once or twice or 5 or 10 times or even 35 times. And then I'm like, I'm burnt out on it. Like I made about 400 videos and I kind of got burnt out, but the thing I have is still repeatable, but I just felt like it was getting old and I want to do something different with the channel. And you want to do that too. Every year or two, you have to upgrade your channel, maybe even consider changing the name of the channel at that time. The last thing I want to talk about is shorts are very big, but they are not very profitable right now, okay? Shorts, they bring attention to your page. They will get you likes and follows. Everybody watches them. They will get you tons of views, but they will not retain or bring money per se to the page, but they will bring eyes. So this is why you need the trending videos and the series videos to trap them in once they come up. They come for the shorts, they stay for the trending videos and your series videos that are focused on whatever topic or goal you want to achieve, whether it's entertainment, personal stuff, health, or whatever that may be. So those are your ways, but in between that, you got to do the trending topics. You got to do the suggested trending things, no matter how stupid you think they are. Try to frequently do it as best you can. But if you can do that, great. Last thing that I will tell you that I don't do, which I should do more of, because I can actually dance very, very well. I actually look great on camera dancing. I just did one today. My homie that did it with me, he's getting all these likes and stuff. I'm like, dang, I forgot. Like, I can really dance good and shit. And I got a dope style. If you like to dance, even if it's not great, if you like music and you like to dance and you have a song that you're excited about that day, dance to that song on video. This is another trending topic thing, which you can pick out a song from the trending music and pick a popular song. You can pick old songs that everybody remembers, but if you want to really nail it, look up whatever the trending hot song is, like Pound Town is now or something like that, or I want to have a good night, or whatever the thing is. And of course, like I said, they'll send you these too. And these are great tips to be in the social media, but I have to say, you got to tuck your morals and win, or you can stay stern, but it's going to take you a longer time to build up your page, a longer time to get enough followers to get paid, a longer time for your stuff to see. I'm talking years of doing it. So you got to make that decision when you go into social media. But if you want to just go in hardballs in and just get immediate paid success, do these tips, ignore your morals, do anything they ask you to do, and you will have likes, views, and follows on your page. Any comments on that, VOLO?
Yo, man, great job. I hear you.
Great. So we're going to final words.
Yeah, that's about it. I'm doing my my YouTube one. I'm gonna get back on my YouTube thing. I got several quick videos in mind. I'm gonna start off with the little 5-minute ones. But I've been doing mostly my Facebook one. The ones that I found on TikTok that I share as reels is funny because it did make it a little easier for me to add something that I'll be thinking about doing. You know what I mean? Like that little cartoon with the dude drawing from men to apology or sorry or whatever, and then he did the female, and that shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
I like that little that little page. I got a couple of them in on my phone that I'm trying to space out and share something other than just YouTube.
Well, I would add that if you are skilled at making memes and you get little ideas when you see pictures, make memes too. I don't take the time to do it because you need the graphic design aspect, but if you can do that too. But I would say my original social media tips are the one you want to focus on, but I forgot to mention that I love memes. Memes get around, and there's another way to bring great attention to your page, especially for story posts and community posts on your page, because you got your regular posts, but they also got that community page. They got your story section. They got like this off-world, and memes, especially memes that represent what you do or are funny, are great to post.
Haters hate memes, boy.
Oh, haters hate memes.
Ooh, they hate memes. Whenever I drop I'll drop some little truth and then have a meme to it. It's like, oh, you got to use memes in order to, instead of recognizing that the meme is has a lot of knowledge, wisdom behind it.
Yeah, it's a visualization of the point.
Yeah. So they hate that. Oh yeah, they hate when I drop a truth with a meme right next to it.
Yeah, if you can add that, because I was just like, dang, I just don't have the time to sit down. And I was like, I could make simple ones, but I was like, the simple ones is corny. You want to make one that's kind of legit, but you can also go simple, but simple is more for like comedy instead of high thought statement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you got high thought statement, you need a little more going on in a meme that's deep. But when you got like a low brow, hey, it's a fart joke, you can kind of do that in a one bang bang couple of things, a little arrow, and you're good.
Yeah.
Splitting two pictures and putting bubbles over their head, done. So that's very possible. Any other words?
Yeah, that's it. Just be on the lookout. Be back on Monday, and having fun out here in social media, and enjoy life, everyone. That's my thing.
There it is. And thank you guys for watching the show. This was VOLO and Butthead's Tech-A-Palooza. And of course, our Tech Lord of the Week, again, Charles Richard Drew, Dr. Charles Richard Drew, Howard University graduate, returned doctor, and savior of America via plasma during World War II, a child of the 1920 crash era. Watch out, Annie ran track. Woo, that's why those girls want to thug this a doctor. They're like, I'm trying to fuck a Charles Richard Drew type nigga. Shit, I want a nigga from the hood that's a doctor that can run. Like, okay, look, I don't think you can get Jesse Owens, Dr. Phil, Dr. Neil Tyson, and Ray Ray in one on every Negro. I think the whole point of Dr. Richard Drew is so we didn't have to do that no more. But that's a whole nother thing, right? Anyway, thank you guys for checking us out. Check out my YouTube, Cat Poop Crazy Carl, where I do streams like this. This is streamed on that channel. This is also streamed on my Mr. C Twitch Force, as it is called, and it's streamed on our Skitbags Entertainment Facebook page. Also check us out on the Twitches and Twitters, Mr. C the Enforcer. Check me out, Poppy Carlo, on Instagram, like the name says on the screen, or just Google Mr. C the Enforcer, MISTASEE the Enforcer. Check out my new song, Paging Dr. Umar, which is about natural women and natural bodies and not being about all that surgery. Our next show is this upcoming Monday, which is called Noodle Free Mondays. We are yet to have a new Noodle of the Week. And then on Wednesday, we have the My Part Uptown podcast, which is about Philadelphia. And it's My Part of Town. Yeah, and that's Mr. BAS's house, where he teaches us all how those 304s ain't shy, or as he would say, bitches ain't you. So that's how life is. And we are out of here. I'm Mr. C the Enforcer. Let's close it out with love is good. Life is better. You better do something that's going to make you live forever. We out of here. And this VOLO and Butthead's Tech-A-Palooza. Party time. Excellent.